Good job, man. As y'all come in, tap them likes for me, man. Share if y'all can. Got a new topic up. Let's get this going. Let's see. Yeah, they nannered you early another time before some. That's crazy. Did you I was just about to say, did you say the R word? Cause some I think two people said the R word real quick. And I was just saying it on there. I said they don't play with that R word. They don't play at all with that. They instantly kind of get you. That's why I would say if you end up saying it, I would say instantly drop and probably give it some time or something like that. Oh, I don't know. Somebody said the R word, but they don't play with that R word. They instantly banana you off that.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm glad I got my chain of thought. I'm over here dealing with these boys, man, getting them in bed. They up too late. So what I was going to ask you was, is I'm not, some people ask questions for certain reasons, but do you have children?
No, I don't have children.
Okay, beautiful. So let me explain something to you then, because based off what you were saying, like you're a giving person, you like to look out for people. So the
Mm,
beautiful thing about having children is, and my wife put me up on this, and this was before we were married, like when we had our son. And she saw me. She's like, "Omar, you be over here telling people all this information, telling them this and this and that." And it always backfires on you sometime. Not all the time. She's not negative. Yes, give me 1 second, son. I'm gonna get him right now. And so she's like, "You got children now. Give that game to your kids." I was like, boom, like it was a explosion of everything. You know what I'm saying? All through my head and neurons and everything. I'm like, that's true. So that's the beautiful thing about having children is you have somebody to help all the time. You have somebody to give all of that energy to. They're here with you, and it's true because you give game and your energy to people, and they don't appreciate it or they don't use it. So I don't really solicit advice anymore like that unless it's just something I pick and choose where it goes now because a lot of people really don't care and a lot of people are just trying to solve it on their own, and get through life the best way that they. Who knows what that is and how they were taught,
mm-hmm.
and we over here trying to save them, and they. It's not saying they can't be saved, but maybe at that time that's just not where they are.
It's just
To it.
yeah. Some people is not ready to be receptive of the message. Sometimes it take them time though. But
Hmm.
I wouldn't say just give up on the message because as long as you went out trying, that's all that really mattered though. A lot of people just give up early. Like I said, but I would say in the process, don't drain yourself trying to do it. Cause I got even people in my family now. I'm not saying I give up, but I do prefer my peace over anything. So I would focus on that. And when the time come, I'm gonna mention it every now and then, depending on how much I care about a person. But I wouldn't say don't put your everything into a situation to where it's affecting you.
Oh yeah, once you start putting your piece over everything else, it
Yeah,
all aligns. It all
yep.
aligns because there's people that I truly love that are very major parts of my life, but now I think they catch on because they'll talk to me and they know not to bring up certain stuff. I don't want to hear. I mean, I got TikTok first of all, so that's enough drama right there. So I don't want to hear about these negative things that all these people got going on in their lives and all that. I don't want to hear that because I mean, how is it helping me? Like we saying right now, I can't help them. I don't want to sit over here and talk about somebody else a negative part of their life. You know what I mean? That's not improving it, and that's putting that kind of energy in the atmosphere. So I choose to just live my life. I don't wear my struggle on my sleeve. You'll never know when I'm going through something unless you really, cool with me and we talk like that, where we had that kind of rapport. So, that's just me. That's me. Everybody's
Hmm.
different. Everybody's different, but I try to make sure I put that energy in the good places and good spaces. And I don't try to make people be who I expect them to be. I cannot make
Right.
anybody be who I expect them to be. They got to do that on
Exactly.
their own.
Exactly. Dang, I'm trying to send this message to Lola. It's not letting me send it. It's I guess that word that dang on bad. I'm trying to find another way around it, how to put it without saying it. Because if I say it, it's gonna be a wrap. Let me
When
see how
I
I'm gonna put
appealed
this.
mine, they told me mine was for like something like her bullying or something. But I was like, nah, this. I just explained it to them, and they let me right back in a couple of minutes. So,
Oh, you talking about? You know the word I'm talking about, right?
nope.
It's a word where I'm trying to think without even saying something else. I'm trying to say it, but they gonna think it's gonna. I'm saying it. I'm trying to put it in the chat, but they're not letting me
Well,
doing
others
it.
don't like others type thing.
It's like when a person. The word they use with mentally, not there.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
like
So I couldn't. They gotta let me
special
put
needs
the. I try to
type
put it
thing,
on so many different ways, but they did not let me do it.
like
But
special
that
needs
word is
type thing.
heavy on here. They automatically banana you as soon as you say
Ooh, I'm glad I don't be arguing nobody because I throw that mug out.
it. Like, are you? You know what I'm saying? They say that real
Right,
quick.
right.
Yeah, I would say automatic drop after that because they gonna get on you after that.
Now they
But
tried
shoot.
to give me the other day. I was having a conversation
I swear I heard
with
two
one
people
of the.
say it though. Two people said it though off real. 'Cause they said it so fast. I couldn't tell who said it though. Two people said it because one person repeated it after it. I don't know who was the two though, but I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's another word they don't play with either. I think I got bananaed off that word. It's the no, I can't. I don't even want to get close to saying that name, but
Ah,
it's
I
a
was
four
on.
letter word. Four letter word. You know what we say? Like instead of saying pause, what dudes say? It's
Right,
the other word.
right, right, right.
Yeah, and they don't play with that word either. I think that's the second time where I got banana. I'm like, dude, why they just got words? You can't say nothing. There don't even be no reason. I just saying it off of like, and I didn't. I think I don't know. That just be crazy
Well, I
though.
was on the live. I was on one of the leaders of the Passport Brother delegation live, and it was just I'm respectful wherever I go. You get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
wherever I talk, I don't just insult people and all that. But then this other
yeah,
brother got on there trying to come crazy, and so he started saying I was acting feminine and all this,
mm,
insulting me because I said something. And so
mm-hmm,
once I went in on him, and I had just explained to them that like a lot of my close friends are professional comedians. That's what they do. I respect comedians on what they do because it's not easy. But
yeah.
I'm just naturally funny. So, when we get to real life, you in my arena now. You get what I'm saying? Not saying that comedians can't hold their own, but when you're naturally funny, you are. So I just told him that. And the dude tried to get me, man. I fired his ass up, bro. I fired him up
Then
and
all
then
of a sudden, good night.
yeah, so then they tried to get me up out of there. I was like, whatever. So after I did that, I was like, yeah, I got to watch everything I say on here for real.
Yeah,
But
you
yeah,
do. We gotta talk like weird now.
oh yeah, yeah, we got to talk like the kids, like how
Yeah.
the little kids be talking.
Mhm. This right here gonna be a series too though. But I'm going ahead and put my little input on this topic, man. Go ahead, cause I lost the other page until see if they let her appeal it. I
I
see
just
though,
wanted to
but I
see
just
if they
lost
let me
that.
come up here.
Ha.
So I just wanted to see if they let me come up here.
Hmm.
My bad, lovely. Sorry about
So
that. Look, let me tell you,
all right.
I did a
Somebody,
career day.
somebody. I don't know who it was, but somebody has helped you. What the? Oh, it's like no, I'm getting shocked and stuff. It's like no, thank you, Dash, thank
Look,
ya.
so I was at a
She
career
shocking
day and
people.
I was like, I don't know how y'all talk. I said, because on TikTok, you can't really say much. So I was
You
like,
can't.
yeah. I was like, there was a situation where somebody was unalive and they was like, such and such. And I was like, yeah,
Uh,
that. And I
uh,
was like, I'm confused on what to even say now
they
because they
learn. We
got you
learn
so
through trial and
controlled.
error, because they make you learn the hard way. They like, and I don't even think they got it in the guide, the guidelines of what words to dodge and
No.
all that stuff. They just make you learn the hard way. Like,
I
nope.
mean, but it's like it's just wow. I mean, I get it with some of the things, like I get it, but I feel like you got to listen to the context. Like, but it is what it
Yeah,
is.
they
I
don't
guess I
care
help
about
teach
that.
you use your words
They
right.
be being petty.
Yeah, like I get away with saying a lot more stuff than I see other people do, and I see others do it too sometimes. I just don't be pressing my luck. I'm like, whatever, I'm just still aware of it.
I'm good, right? I'm about to let them do them, you know. I can't get my stuff. I'm good on that. But yeah, I'm about to get juicy with this one. I thought about this at work and stuff, man.
That's what he said.
Oh, wait, whoa, what did I miss? Whoa, you ain't supposed to. No, I'm supposed to be. That's what she said, King in here. Don't be no. I don't know what you say, man. I don't expect you to say nothing like that.
Remember, I'm your soundboard because you ain't got your soundboard on
Oh
no
yeah,
more.
you right. My bad. Oops, my bad. You right.
You gave me the job. I'm just
I did give
trying,
you
you
that
know what I'm
job.
saying?
My bad. My bad. Now I need you to put down the. I'm not here to protect your little.
I'm not here to protect your little feelings.
Mm-hmm. There you go. There we go. See, look, I got man. That's a good investment I done put in. That costs a lot of money right there. You know what
You
I'm
hear me?
saying?
What up, though?
Right. So with the topic, man, AJ, how you feeling, man? You know it. You know it.
My bad. I'm about to drop down. I just wanted to say sorry again to my mama's on the
Said
west
I'm
side. But I'm about to go
sorry.
to sleep. I got a little cruise tomorrow across the
Wake up,
Potomac.
say now. All right.
All right. I see y'all. Good night, everybody.
For sure.
Good night. Good night. What's good, everybody?
What's the deal? AJ is in
What's
the
up?
building and she speaks. You know.
I do. I do.
AJ speaks.
I come out here and speak the truth.
Oh yeah, I'm
Wake
about
up
to really
some
speak the
little.
truth. I got to get some of that speaking juice
Get
real quick
that.
in a
Get
minute.
that. You gotta hit people with that reality sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Wake them
Mm-hmm.
up. Can't be out here doing the
Now
most,
wake
but.
me
I'm
up.
gonna be in it
Right.
on the bottom. I'm finna get these boys. They trying to play me. It's 10 o'clock out here, and they trying to run game on me. I gotta bed.
All right, for sure.
All right, brother,
For
contact
sure.
you
For
more
sure.
often.
Oh yeah, man, for sure, man, and appreciate you, coming in and stuff.
All right. Let's hear. Let's hear it, Kev. Let's hear it. And I'm out. And I'm out your way. Even better. Let's go.
Let's go, let's go. This feels so good right here. I like this topic. I thought about this today and stuff a little later. I'm running out of breath, and I ain't even do it. I need to get some of that good juice too. I feel like I can talk a little bit, but topic: less expectation and more appreciation, man. I think even with that mindset right there, I think we'll look at the world in a better way because we think that we just owed all type of stuff, or we think that and just like my man's mentioned, when I didn't get to that part, but he said a lot of the stuff where I was talking about, like we want people to be the way we want them to be, or think the way we think, or we expect because if we do this much for some people, that they supposed to do this much for us and all that stuff, and that's where we heard it. I haven't thought about it. It's so deep that we need to even appreciate parents being parents because like we shouldn't expect like, oh, you my parents, you're supposed to do this or something like that, because some people don't even have their parents. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't even, you know what I'm saying? That's even with that, them having to being a parent, they made that choice to be a parent, because some parents can choose not to be a parent even if they have a kid or not. They can make that choice though. But I'm just saying, like, the thing is, reason why I say, less expectation and more appreciation. We got to start appreciating more and stop looking at things that this is how it's supposed to be done, or this, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of stuff do not go the way we wanted to go. It's just that's just the way of life. And we got to realize that. And I think, just like I said, we hurt ourselves because of expectations and stuff, or that we feel like we deserve this or we deserve that. I didn't work this hard and all that stuff, but no, I think if we change it up and start saying that, I appreciate that they even gave me this offer, even if you feel like you deserve this offer, you got to just start appreciating every little thing, just like even getting accepted in the job. You know what I'm saying? You had that feeling of appreciation, but now that you're working there, you just, oh, I expect to get this. I expect this raise. I expect, you know what I'm saying? And that stuff, that right there, that is what hurt us, because we like we put in some of the stuff be high expectation. We put stuff on, situations that's not even promised to us. You know what I'm saying? A lot of stuff, and that's another topic too. A lot of this stuff is not even really promised to us. I mean, if it happened to us, like I said, we just need to be thankful for it, be more thankful for it, and appreciate it because it didn't have to. We just got to store it in our mind. Like I said, we got to store it in our mind that this is the way it's supposed to go and all this stuff. Shoot, even us just simply breathing, like shoot, some people don't even get the chance for that and all that stuff. We gotta even appreciate like it's even the little things. It's a super little things for real, like that we need to start being more appreciative of. And then it's like us being more or less appreciative, we getting more spoiled. Even with expectation that comes with it brings some type of spoilness behind it and all that. You know, it's like, oh no, it's supposed to be like the light's supposed to go. Like I'm supposed to breathe out these lungs. I'm supposed, you know what I'm saying? But no, we gotta be more thankful because, like I said, none of this stuff. That's gonna be one of my topics too. Like it's because I mean, if life is not even promised to us, what make us think that anything else in life is gonna be promised to us? Like if life itself is not promised, why would anything else be promised? You know what I'm saying? So like we gotta be more grateful. We gotta be more appreciative, and that's like the main thing. I think once we start changing our mindset to being more appreciative on the things that we even feel like we expected, I think I think we'll feel better. We'll live in a better type of mentality because the thing is, we got to think about it that we didn't have to get it. We didn't. I always be thinking about this daily. Like I didn't have to even live. Like as much as even my parents that created me and stuff, I didn't have to be here. I didn't even have to be here, and I appreciate living every day. You know, I say I appreciate even just being simply born and stuff. But they put in our mind that no, you supposed to do this. This how it's supposed to go and all this stuff. That stuff is just it's not true. And when you do that, you create this, and it's like a anger that get brought behind expectation. That happens majority of the time, especially when it don't work the way we want it to work. It's a lot of stuff that builds up behind that, behind expectation. That's why expectations can get dangerous. You know what I'm saying? And that's what hurts us. You know what I'm saying? We put stuff on people like my friend is supposed to be a friend to me. I expect this or something like that. You know, no. Sometimes we gotta even appreciate the little, like we gotta appreciate for them even doing something because they didn't have to do it. They didn't have to do it. Even okay, we can even say it goes this far, like them giving us our money back, right? We met them borrow some money or something like that. Of course, yeah, we expect them to give it back, but we still can be appreciative that we have a friend that's living up to their word and giving us the money back. You know what I'm saying? So that's we gotta be even appreciative today as much as you feel like we are supposed to expect that though. But I mean, I understand that yeah, it's some stuff in our mind that we gotta expect. But I'm just saying like. Even with that, we just gotta be appreciative of that. Like I said, parents don't have to parent. Friends don't have to be friends. You know, shoot, life don't even have to be life to you. But it's like I'm saying, every little thing we need to start being the stuff that we expect, and we need to start being more appreciative on just in general, man. And I swear, if you start looking at life that way, even if you got the less of the less, you know what I'm saying. Even with the most of the most, you'll be more happy. I'm gonna put it that way. You'll be happy because you a lot of that stuff you will look at it like I don't really we don't deserve anything for real. We don't. You know what I'm saying? We don't. As much as we want to say it, like it don't have to happen. You know what I'm saying? Hand raised. What's up? What's up?
I don't want to interrupt, Kev. Hey, Kev.
Hey,
Hey,
what's
I'm
the
in your
deal?
box.
What's the deal? What's the deal? I thought you had some stuff, man, some juiciness
I
stuff.
do. I was going,
I
but I
was
don't want to
coming down.
interrupt
Huh?
Yeah,
Oh no,
yeah,
no,
because
that's why we're
you good.
quiet. Yeah,
Y'all
we're
can
I know
go
you
quiet because
ahead.
got
we're
your.
waiting for you to finish.
Oh no,
Yeah,
y'all
you
can go
start off
ahead
with
now.
your perspective. I appreciate that.
Uh-huh.
I just didn't because I just came in, so I didn't know if you had already did
Oh yeah.
that or what.
Yeah, I was
So
just
you
dying
good?
down anyways. I was just thinking about it. I was like, let me it's about that time now. Because I'm ready to hear other views and stuff or how, you know what I'm saying? I just want to see some stuff, you know?
Well, I got a question because my perspective is a little different. I have to disagree with you.
Okay.
So my question is, why parents don't have to parent and friends don't have to be friends?
You said why?
Yeah, you said we need to be
Because
happy
every
because
because
or appreciative because parents don't have to parent and friends don't have to be friends.
yeah, because everybody has the option. They got choice. That's what it is. Everybody has choice, and if they choose to or choose not, that's what they can do. And I think us for expecting somebody to make a choice because we want them, or we expect them to make that choice. Uh, that's where it's damaging at, because we want them to be the way we want them to be, and it just don't work like that in this world. It just don't. It's just a lot of parents. Like, the reason why I say that, because there's a lot of parents that don't even, they just give their kids up and stuff. You know what I'm saying? They don't do that. We look at it. That's why I say that's what made me be more appreciative and looking at it like, you know what? I could have been one of them kids that just gave up by my parents because they didn't want to, you know what I'm saying? Because they didn't care about me and stuff. And that's why
No,
little stuff like
I
that though.
definitely
But
understand that. I was one of those kids. I think
yeah.
to say that we should have less expectations, I think would be unfair. Because again, as one of those kids who didn't have parents, right?
Hmm.
Then I do move about the world expecting people to play their position in my life. Now, I can't tell people who to be and how to be the person that they want to be, but I definitely
Hmm.
pick my friends according to what I feel like I need and want and deserve in a friend. So I feel like I have a right to have expectations. I can't
Yeah.
pick my parents, but I think this topic, what I get from it is, people should forgive and move on more than not having expectations, because I feel like we can have both. We can have expectations and we can have appreciation,
We
because
can.
expectation is how we get closer to what we want,
Hmm.
you know? So I'm going to have expectations from
I
my
feel you.
friends. When we were kids, we didn't know we had to have expectations. Our friends were the people that were closest to us, our cousins, right? The people in our neighborhood, as far as we could go. Maybe, our parents said you can only go up the hill and down one block, but don't go across there and don't go over there. So our friends were the people in our proximity. So we had to pick from those. And now that we
Mm.
don't have to pick from people in our proximity, right? I don't have to accept anything. I
Yeah.
don't have to accept the boy across the street, because there's boys at my school I could be friends with, right? So I
Right.
I will put that up against today, where now we have access to people in Europe. We have access to people all over the world. And even no matter where you are in the world, I'm going to have expectation if you expect to be in my life because I'm
Yeah.
somebody. And
Yeah.
and and that's the way I move around, with the idea that I could have both
So that's
expectations
why.
and appreciation.
Yeah, so that's why I put less on there. I didn't say no expectations, so that's why I put less. So I will put it this way, as in, yeah, you can have all your expectations as you want, but don't have it to where that if a person don't work out or fit in your life that you wanted to look at it. I mean, because another person can do, another human can make do what they want and stuff. Friends, all that stuff. If things can change, things can happen in your life and stuff. I would say, you know appreciate every moment that they with you, even if it failed or something like that. Appreciate that they did their time. It might not work, that work because they actually lived up to your expectations at the
Right.
moment. You know what I'm saying? Because life, like I said, life is gonna change, people change, and all that stuff. And I'm just saying, have your appreciation more higher than your expectations. Because when you do the reverse way, a lot of times we get disappointed behind it. It's some type of disappointment behind it because it don't work the way we wanted to work and all that stuff. Because we're not looking at humans as humans. All of us got choices. All the things can change. Just things can just change in general. People change, people make mistakes. It's all type of stuff that happen though. So I just say be more appreciative of what they do, you know what I'm saying, or than what they than they having just expectations, because people don't have to do what they have to do, or they don't have to do what they do, you know what I'm saying? That's all it is. That's what I mean about it. But AJ, you saying so?
I got you.
Yeah, no, no. I was waiting for you to finish. So I got a question, right? And I agree with you. I think people definitely, I think it definitely has to be balanced. But my question, I guess, is do you feel or have you experienced unrealistic expectations? Do you feel that people have unrealistic expectations? Or do you feel that, or you yourself have tried to put yourself up to unrealistic expectations?
Unrealistic
That's a good
expectation.
one.
Probably at certain times, probably have, maybe. I have, yeah, until my way of thinking been changing, but yeah, I probably have. Or sometimes I do, But now I'm learning to yeah, I have, but that's why I'm learning to be actually that's the reason why I put it down, because I'm learning to be more appreciative, because my expectations used to be too high on certain stuff, and it didn't work the way I wanted to work and stuff. So, I was like, you know what? Even if I expected to be a supervisor or something like that, even though I feel like I deserve it and stuff, I still appreciate that I got the chance, or I got the that chance to even put in that work to get there or whatever. So I just changed it on that, because I can get hurt off of high expectations, or I can't damage myself off of expectations alone, or let alone just letting it be high and stuff. Because
Okay.
I even got expectations. I would say, like, I look at it this way. I do have some, I got little expectations about this app. Like, I'm expecting to help as many people as I can on here, but it might not work. You know what I'm saying? It can not work though, but I'll still appreciate that I got the moment to do it, and I always look back at that. Even if I don't get my goal, I still help myself in the process. Like, it's still better than me. If I don't better nobody else, I'm still better than myself. Just for even trying and seeing that I'm not giving up, even if it don't work the way I wanted to work. So I just appreciate just a moment to even try it.
Hmm. I think that's fair. I could personally say that I've done that. I've put myself up to crazy expectations that would drive anybody crazy throughout my lifetime. And I realized, was I very appreciative during those moments when my expectations were unrealistic? No, because I was miserable and complaining about everything.
Yep.
But when I brought down the expectation to reality, right? Something tangible, something, it's not that I couldn't achieve the high expectation, but when I dropped it and realized, okay, because well, let me put it this way. Most people I've ever noticed, and myself included when I was this person, we have high expectations, we got very little patience. I didn't have
Mm-hmm.
no
Ooh, you
patience, but I
preaching
had the
now.
highest expectation. Highest expectation, no patience, right? And the reason why that's important with self-awareness is because if I'm doing that to me, do you think I'm not doing that to people in my life? My
Mm-hmm.
parents? Mom, why aren't you a superhero? Why aren't you super mom? You're never supposed to make a mistake. You're supposed to accept me. I'm human, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're my friend. You're supposed to be the best friend in the world. You're supposed to give me the shirt off your back. How dare you do that? High expectations.
Mm-hmm.
When we ain't got little
It,
patience when people mess up.
that's what it is. Patience is a big problem in our life in general. We jump into a lot of situations we shouldn't be in, and most of the time we don't even be ready for a lot of that stuff or whatever. But yeah, I
So
feel you on that.
I guess for me it wouldn't be necessarily lessen like less expectations. I would say make more realistic expectations, right? I could make an expectation, okay, AJ, you're gonna have a business, you're gonna open up a brand new business and so on and so forth, and do that within the next 3 years. I can push myself to that point. I'm not gonna sit there and be like, oh, I'm gonna completely fail. I could push myself and have that expectation. Or I could be
Yeah.
realistic and be like, you know what? I want to, because when I think about when I pushed myself to those high expectations, I had, if you would have asked me what happiness was, what would make me happy, how I wanted my life, it was different. I would have told you, oh, I have to have a career, I gotta have money, I gotta have all these things. If you ask me that now that I've dropped my expectations, made them more realistic, now I've gained patience, more and more patience every day, and I appreciate my life a lot more, I can honestly tell you the only life I want to create is a life I don't want to escape from.
So do you feel that your appreciation should be higher than your expectation, or you think it just gotta be evened out? Or it gotta be, or the expectation, or it just depends?
I think they go hand in hand. I
Mm.
think if you have high expectations, you're not going to have a lot of appreciation because you're going to be setting yourself up for way more disappointments. So how do you appreciate something when you're constantly disappointed? You don't appreciate disappointment. None of us do.
Yeah, but I think you get disappointed through expectations, though. You
So
can't
what
get
I would
disappointed through
say,
appreciations.
I would, yeah, which we're kind of saying the same thing, except the only difference is I'm just saying I would have more realistic expectations. I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
people definitely need to appreciate what the hell they have more. I 100% agree with you. I think
yeah,
for me, when in terms of expectations, I link that more with patience,
yeah.
right? I think
But
if you're
reason
gonna have
I feel you
less
on a
expectations, have more patience. You know what I
I,
mean?
f- I feel you on a realistic expectation, but even that don't it's not promised to work either. You know what I'm saying? You can have realistic, like I said, we can, we can lower it, we can higher it or not, but it's none of that stuff is promised. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
you
None of
gotta
the
have,
stuff can go the way we
well,
want to go all the time. It just don't.
true, but we gotta have some form of expectations in order for all of us to coexist,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
That's what
There
I'm
has to
saying.
be an expectation when I come in this live that I'm not disrespectful, right? That's an expectation that everybody in
True.
here has, right? You don't want to be
yeah.
disrespected.
Yeah,
That's an
but it
expectation you
happens
have. That's
sometimes, so we
realistic.
don't want it to
No, but
where I feel
I'm
you
talking
that
about,
that's what I mean.
yeah,
Yeah, but that's why I say that it shouldn't be so because you should even with that you should still appreciate that somebody didn't disrespect you. It should be more more to it because a person don't have to, it's not entitled to respect you, right? Because they have
right.
that choice. So that's what I mean about more appreciation than just looking at it like, well, I expect you to be like that, even if it's realistic expectation or not. You know what I'm saying? So
I think it's, I think
huh?
it's a, I personally think it's a realistic expectation for anybody who comes in this room, majority of us who are frequent here, right? I'm not talking about like you onesie twosies coming here every now and I'm talking about us frequent flyers and Kev's Live. We always in here. And if we ain't in this one, we
Right.
gonna be in the next one or the one after that. Us frequent flyers, right? We come in here with the expectation that we have a mutual respect, even though we don't always all agree on the same stuff, right?
True.
We don't always agree, but there's an expectation that there's still a level of respect. At
Yeah,
least it's unspoken,
yeah.
but
It
it's
ain't
there,
no expectation. It's
right?
just yeah, I
But
get you
here's
though.
the thing. But this is where I'm gonna link it. Okay, check this out. Because we have this mutual expectation, unspoken, realistic expectation. Hey, respect me, I'll respect you.
Hmm.
We all see each other in other lives. I can't sit there and say that I don't feel appreciated when I go into your guys' lives, or if I see you in other lives. You see what I'm saying? So there's still a level of appreciation, but it's easily appreciation is going to be easily accepted when your expectation is realistic, or in your case, less. So in a way, I'm not arguing with you. I'm agreeing with you. I'm just wording it differently. Does that make sense?
It
All right.
did.
I
Like I'm
think I
agreeing
hear
with
you.
your
Yeah, I
take.
hear you a little bit.
Yeah,
I was
I'm
just
just
saying that
But
nobody,
before
wording it
even if
differently.
we expect somebody, that's what I'm just getting to. That even if we expect them to do it, even because we do it daily and stuff, a person really still don't have to do it. And that's what I'm meaning about. We
Well, no,
should
it's an
even appreciate a
expectation, not
person
an
that's actually,
entitlement.
huh?
Well, it's an expectation, not an entitlement. You're not
Yeah,
entitled to
yeah,
being
yeah, yeah.
respected, but you can have the expectation that you will be if you go into certain places.
Yes. And it's like the reason why I say that to not set somebody up because you get set up for disappointment when you see like set somebody on a bad day and they end up getting disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. It sometimes you be like, dang, what the heck? I didn't see that side. But that's me being realistic because, I look at it that they didn't have to be that way that day or something like that because stuff happened or whatever. Maybe they might slip up or whatever. And like, dang, I didn't expect you to do that. It always been like that. What the heck? But it's just life happens. But that's the reason why I'm
But let's
saying
talk
like,
about
huh?
then let's actually talk about that, right? The expectation in that moment, right? Let's think back to when we're in those moments and things go south, because we have all been there, right? Not necessarily with each other, but with somebody.
right.
9 times out of 10, what is the disappointment? Well, I wouldn't have done it that way. Like, I don't,
Yeah,
that doesn't even make
exactly.
sense to me.
Hmm.
Well, the expectation is you're expecting somebody to see something as you are. That's a
Yep,
whole other person with a whole other perspective.
exactly.
And
Right.
analyze your expectation. If it was a realistic expectation, for me would be like, okay, say if me and Niche were having a disagreement about, I don't know, the which color's better, purple or pink, right?
Right.
We could sit there and have that argument, right? And say I'm
Hmm.
feeling a type of way because I don't like the way she's coming at me. Wow, she needs to know better. But if I have the realistic expectation of understanding that her perspective is different from me, you think I can't appreciate that conversation? Even though
Right.
we see things differently?
That's what I'm saying. Right. But I
You gotta
think that
change
just
the
my
way
goal out of this whole thing is
yeah,
even with the expectation, it should our appreciation should be higher than expectation. Just in general, just to have a more clear
of course.
way of thinking. I don't think our expectation should trump our appreciation. That's all I'm talking about. That's what I mean about more and less. That's all I'm saying
Yeah.
about that. I've never said no expectation because that's how we
No.
gotta have some type of jump start in life or whatever, and some type of goals. Even goals is some
You
type
got
of
you gotta
expectation.
have you gotta have expectations if you're gonna coexist with other people.
Yeah,
Which we all have to
exactly.
share this planet with each other, so we have to have some level of
It's a
some
different
form
level.
of an agreed upon expectation.
Yeah, and that's why I never
But no.
put no in there. I
I'm gonna
didn't
let
put no.
yeah. Go ahead,
No, that's
Mitch, because I know you've
well,
been
that's
she's been wanting to
understood.
say something for a minute.
That's understood that you didn't say no per se. You didn't use that word, Kev, but you did say parents don't have to parent and friends don't have to be
They
friends.
don't. They don't.
So okay, well that's saying then I should have no expectation. Am I misunderstanding that? Because
No, what I'm
I can't
saying, no,
control
I'm
my
saying you
parents.
could be appreciative because they a parent don't have to I'm not saying no expectation. You do expect the parent to do it, but I'm just saying like what I mean it as in be more. I'm just saying even with that instant, just like they be like, I expect a man to be a man and a woman to be a woman. You know what I'm saying? Or they do their role. You know whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? They
Well,
don't have to do that role because that's their choice to be that way. So I'm
that's a
just
little
saying
bit
our
different though,
expectation of
Kev.
it shouldn't be
Turn
we
around.
should appreciate that they doing it because they don't have to do it. Like just the fact that anybody has a choice. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has a way, their way of thinking, and anybody has a choice. Sure, I can be appreciative of just being understood. You know what I'm saying? Or little stuff because a person didn't have to understand me. You know what I'm saying? Or the person don't have to respect me. None of that stuff. No, nobody don't. All of this stuff we really have is choices. So I'm appreciative that y'all even came in my room. I didn't expect y'all to come in here, but I'm appreciative that y'all came here because y'all made that choice to come in here. You know what I'm saying? So my appreciation is more higher. That's what I'm saying. I try to adjust the mindset to having your appreciation more higher than your expectation, just so you can have a better way of looking, just looking at life. Because expectation itself is what be
I
hurting a
get what
lot
you're
of us,
saying.
even if it's less realistic or not. You know what I'm saying? It help us out. It help us out, but then it hurt us a lot too at the same time. But I think if our appreciations
I think
trump that, you know what I'm saying, we have a better we'd be better emotionally and have a better way of thinking on that situation. That's all.
well, correct me if I'm wrong, because I think I'm getting a better understanding of kind of what you're pushing for, like with this topic, right?
Hmm.
Basically, people are so expectation, goal oriented, focused, right? Oh,
Hmm.
we have this type of expectation, we have this, and that, but we forget to just appreciate things, right? Appreciate we got, oh man, I got, running water, I got lights, I got food in my cabinet, I got this, I woke up this morning,
Yeah.
so on and so forth, right? Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, yeah, you said it perfect
Yeah.
right there. Exactly. It be that's what I was saying. That's why I mentioned. I said it's the little things. I said well, even us breathing. That's what I mentioned earlier. Like, shoot, we might be expected to breathe, but we got to still be thankful that we still here breathing. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate even just living and stuff. Appreciate the little
Mhm.
things. When you learn how to appreciate just the little things, you know what I'm saying? It can only get better from there. You know what I'm saying? That's how we always can refrain back to it. Just even a positive mindset, anyways. And I think our expectations, just in general, just be so high. That's where like a lot of negativity come from because we disappoint ourselves because of what our expectation we put on others. And that happens a lot with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Including me sometimes, but I will have to always look at it like, you know what? I appreciate the time that I had or whatever. It might not work, or I appreciate that you got this person out of my life. You know what I'm saying? It's just even with that, it give you more of a positive way of looking. Just in general, it just give you more of a positive way. That's all it is.
So I got another question. Do you think that people confuse expectation and goals? So like they have one expectation and now we're chasing expectations when we should be having an expectation but chasing goals. Do you
I
think that
think
people
goals is still
anymore
the
have
same
the
thing as
two
I think it is an
but a goal
expectation and
isn't
a
an
goal though.
expectation. They're
Yeah,
not the same.
Yeah, I think it is an expectation inside of a goal itself. It got to be for it to be a goal. It got to be some type of expectation that you look forward to. Cause like I got a goal, or I gotta, let's say if I gotta go to get my body away, I'm expecting, me to eat this weight or whatever to get to this body type goal or whatever. But you gotta
So
have
yeah,
some, like I said, we do have some type of expectation, to even get to a goal. Got to. That's the jump start we was talking about, or I was talking about, or whatever.
yeah. But do you think most people are sitting there saying that what they're claiming as an expectation is a goal, right? The expectation is we're all supposed to get along and live happy go lucky together. That
Mm,
sounds more like a goal than an expectation because that's never gonna happen if we're
I
being
get you.
realistic.
I get you. I get you.
We're not always gonna get along 100% of the time and never have a disagreement. People
Mm,
do that in relationships all the time.
okay, I get you.
See what I'm
I
saying?
get
That's
you.
what I was talking about. Like, yeah, you need expectations to hit goals
Yeah,
to a degree. But if
yeah,
we have created a society or we ourselves have focused so we become so goal oriented, we're not even appreciating the things and the gifts that we're getting from the goal,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
right? Because now, okay, well now I achieve this goal, now I need the next thing. Now I need the next thing. I need the next thing. I need the next thing.
Yep.
But you didn't
Yep.
appreciate nothing else.
Exactly. That's even with that. Like once we say I've I hit I want to hit 1 million people, then it still get extended. You make another goal after that. You like it get higher and higher, but you never take the time to appreciate because the even with that the goal be so much power than your higher than your appreciation. You forget the fact that you even just you got one person. You know what I'm saying? You forget the fact because you had that goal and met that. It goes out the you get disappointed when you don't make it to your next goal, and that's what I mean. So that's why you always gotta go backtrack and think like, you know what? I couldn't even have these many people. I could have had zero or something like that, something like that or whatever. And that's why I'm saying you got to trump that appreciation over that goal, or what I'm saying, that next goal you got to take the time to be thankful that you even made it as far as you did right there. Just in general. But
I
yeah.
like it.
So I guess I would agree with you when it comes to certain things. So we're talking about this app, we're talking about work. Um, Appreciation is definitely going to be something that's going to pull you through those tough times.
Hmm.
Um, I just think that our expectations. I just think that we don't, in general, right? We don't have enough expectations because a lot of people move about in general, not really knowing what they want. So I wouldn't. I just don't subscribe to the idea that
That is very
expect
true.
that expectations should ever be less. I actually would argue that expectations should be more, and they should be
Oh, you
realistic.
talking about like that? I'm not. I don't.
I'm
Like I
talking
said,
about in
I Yeah,
totality.
you talk about less expect. Like I get what you mean by that, but I'm not saying that. I'm just that's why I put more appreciate. I'm putting it as in like even with that, we can have a lot of expectations. I'm not talking about it in that way. I'm putting less expectation as in your appreciation should be more than your expectations. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that you got to have the less amount of expectations of like different expectations and stuff. I'm just talking about that thing. Okay, the one thing. Say if I'm expecting to get a car or something like that, I'm just saying your appreciation should be more than what you expect out of getting that car. But I'm not meaning like in I expect to get this, I expect to get that, I expect to get this. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we need a lot of them. Just like that's like goals and stuff. You need a lot of that stuff to even to get somewhere. Because like I always tell people to have multiple goals. I think you was here when I was talking about that in my live and stuff. Like you should have daily goals. You always should have something set to look forward in life, just to make life
Yeah.
fun or something like that, or have something to work towards. But yeah, I feel you on that, but I'm not meaning like in that way. But that's the reason why I put it in that way, like less expectation, more appreciation. It's like one whole full line, but it ain't meaning like because like what else more can you appreciate if I'm talking about just one thing, you know what I'm saying? I'm just so I can't be talking about like not like
So
that,
my
but
thing is like you said, the car. If I expect to get a car and I don't get a car, what am I appreciating? What's to appreciate from that experience?
you
That I got to sit at the dealership all day?
you said what? You
What
said
is
so.
to
Hold on, let me say. You said
appreciate?
Well, you expecting to get a car and you
You
don't.
said just like you're expecting to get a car. If I'm
You
expecting to get a
appreciate
car,
the process. You appreciate.
what process? Sitting at the dealership for 5 hours and not going
You
home with
said
a car?
what?
Mm-mm.
Wait, say what? So hold on, say it again.
I
You said
said if
what the
I
process?
expect
So
to get a
wait,
car,
will you expect? So that would be that unrealistic thing. So you saying that you was expecting the car and not doing nothing about it, no process to get to the car?
no, I did a process. I did what I
Okay, that's
thought.
what I
You
mean,
know what I'm
right?
saying?
So the
I
process
did
it
my
took you to
homework.
get there, you could say it could be appreciation that you even had, that you even you even tried, you know what I'm saying? You got the chance to even try it or whatever, or you built up whatever it took you to, the money that you built up or whatever. You appreciate the journey you went through and all that stuff. That's just like me. I'm gonna put it this way. That's just like me expecting uh to better somebody. I don't know, something like that. I don't know. I know it's gonna take a little journey to get there, but if I get them, I don't. It is what it is. But I still appreciate that that hold on, I'm trying to put this. That I even, put in the effort, or like even that when somebody put in the effort, if it didn't work, you can appreciate them for putting in the effort. I'm trying to put it in the opposite way now. Like even if it didn't work, or you could say I appreciate you trying to help me. Saying something like that. Even if they didn't help you, I appreciate it. No, that's the same way. No different. You
I
could do it
think that
the
I
opposite
think
way
that
too.
works. I think that works like if I were like, "Oh man, I'm going to get a new car." Right? And it's not dire, right? But say my car breaks down and it's my only way of transportation and I got to get to work, I got bills to pay. And somebody's like, "Oh yeah, go here. You can get the car the same day." I talked to the guy at the dealership. "Yeah, you'll be able to leave with a car today." So now I sat there, called out of work, spent the whole day there only to
Right.
find out, "Oh, you got to wait a week to get the car." I'm not
Right.
going to appreciate that
Nothing about
in
it.
that moment is not gonna happen. Like that's unrealistic for me to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah,
appreciate that
and that's where
process.
you hurt
I
yourself,
will
and that's
appreciate
when you
that.
shouldn't have been
Yeah.
expecting
You see what I'm
that.
saying? So like, you know what I mean? That would be an unrealistic expectation as far as appreciation
Yeah,
goes. I
that
can't
stuff just don't
appreciate
even
that
deserve a
at that
appreciation
moment.
behind it because you set yourself up already because you didn't even wait till you even actually got it in your hand. That's like counting the chickens before a hatch or whatever.
Well, but that was the thing. I had the expectation because I needed a car right then and there,
Yeah, so
right?
that shows right there that expectations don't always work the way we wanted to. It just
Well, that's the
work. It
thing.
gave you an eye opener.
That's that was a life. That's a life experience for some people though.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
expectation was set by something beyond me. So, you know,
yeah. But you learn
Yeah, I
from it,
didn't have
right?
any expectation. Yeah, I mean, eventually, yes, there's always going to be lessons, but there's always going to be lessons even in
Right.
things that you achieve. Even if I got that car that day, yeah, I'd probably be pretty, oh, thank God I got the car that day. But
Yeah.
I'm
but if I
only going to
didn't get the
spend the same
car,
amount.
right,
Yeah,
my expectation is still the same. I'm going to go out tomorrow
regardless.
with the same expectation to a
Yeah.
different lot to solve my
That part.
problem. So I don't
That part.
need to lessen my
So so
expectation.
you could appreciate it gave you the strength that you didn't give up, and you found you another car, right?
Nah, because you got to do what you got to do. Like,
You're
when
right.
you,
But I'm saying you had the strength and you didn't
that's
give
not an
up. So that's what you could be
expectation.
appreciative about.
Yeah, but that's
But I
not an
had the strength when
expectation.
I
If,
walked in.
Huh?
yeah,
That
you didn't
didn't.
lose that. Like,
Wait,
if
say
anything, I
what?
just wasted time.
Right. I'm saying, okay, maybe just give me an example, right? Because you know what, you gave plenty of examples.
Yeah.
Um, I just don't agree with some of them. It don't lend to the understanding. But yeah, when you talk about this platform, you got to be realistic with expectations. You
You're
know,
right.
so I get that.
Exactly.
That is where I do get that this whole conversation applies. Um, because a lot of this is outside of your control, somewhat,
So,
right?
so I
You
think
have
the
to be grateful for the process, right? So if you are not a person who is extroverted and you decide to be extroverted for this app and you've come out of your shell and you've done different things, then yes, you've got to learn how to appreciate the process. Your expectation may or may not have been high, but appreciating the process is going to get you further. It's going to get you to your next venture. So absolutely.
hmm.
Yeah.
So even with that, when that expectation fell, what we gonna do? Sit in it for the rest of our lives because I could have got that car or something like that. I think even with
No, no,
that,
no,
I
no, no,
think it's
no,
something,
no,
some
no,
stuff
no.
just drop in our life. That's like me
Expectation.
saying I lost a friend or something like that, right? I expected that friend to be a friend, which is another unrealistic expectation or whatever, and stuff
So
happen
that's
in
where we
life.
don't
So I'm
agree.
going to sit here and think about that
That
and
part.
be, of course you can't appreciate certain moments and stuff, but that's one of the things where uh that things happen, you know what I'm saying? But you could, me myself, of course, I wouldn't appreciate my breakup and stuff. But then again, I appreciate the process that I had the strength to go through it, and I'm glad that it happened because I wouldn't be the person I am today. So that's where appreciation kind of kicks in. At I might not like
Would you
how it went
say?
at that time, right? But I still like that it happened because it changed my mind frame and made me better because I could have just been sitting there, you know what I'm saying? I might not, like I said, I wouldn't be the person I am today if stuff didn't happen. So
So could you
I might
say
not
that the
personally appreciate that moment, but stuff in our life, it's a lot of stuff that's gonna happen in our life that we just not gonna. But it's the process after or how I overcame it or something like that is what I can appreciate. You
so
know,
can you
some
say that the
But does your
expectation is
expectation change?
appreciation?
huh?
You see what I'm saying? But your expectation is appreciation. You're trying to you have the expectation that at some point you are going to appreciate a process. That's still an expectation, right? You can't have appreciations without expectations, and you can't have expectations without appreciations. They go hand in hand, right?
Right.
Yeah, I
So
never said you
if you
can't.
have an
I never said that.
expectation, I know I didn't say you did. Calm down, Kevin. I didn't say you did. I'm just saying. Now, and that say that example of the car, yeah. When I get that whole situation figured out, yeah, I'm gonna appreciate when I got the car, and yeah, eventually at some point I will appreciate that process and the lessons that I learned. In that moment, I'm not gonna appreciate that. I'm not gonna stay hung up on it because I can't do that.
Right.
I'm not gonna understand it. You know what I mean? At that time, it's just where I'm at. But I feel like
My
they kind of go
expectation
hand
is
in hand.
still the same.
But yeah, my expectation's still the same because I still gotta get up and survive. But I do think that we do need to appreciate things that we do have at the same time.
Oh yeah.
Things that we have achieved. I don't think that we should run and just be like, okay, this is the expectation here, have an expectation there, so on and so forth. Like it does need to be in balance. That's just where I'm at.
Okay.
Did we frustrate you, Kenny?
Huh? No, I'm just listening.
Did I frustrate you?
I'm just listening, man.
My bad, Kev. My bad.
I wasn't
Hey,
expecting. I wasn't expecting to get understood. Anyways, I knew this. You know what I'm saying? So I
Well, no,
appreciate.
you wasn't
I
expected to be
understand what you.
understood?
I wasn't expecting
You
that. No, I
sound
wasn't
okay.
expecting that because I know everybody think different. So you know.
Yeah, but you can't say that when I said I did understand you. I understand what you're saying with that
Oh,
statement.
no, I was just saying in general because I'm just saying I knew that you know what I'm saying it's gonna be
There was gonna be a discussion,
yeah, it's gonna
Yeah.
be some. So
and
I
some
wasn't
opposing
expecting
opinions.
that everybody was gonna be like, yeah, you know what,
Agree
yeah,
with you.
right. You know what I'm saying? Of course not.
Of course. We can't always agree on everything. Can you imagine if you were in like you lived in a world where everybody thought just like you? Oh my god, that'd be boring.
Oh, that would be
Yeah, it will be
horrible.
boring.
That would be
Cause I'd be
terrible.
crazy sometimes.
You know what I mean? Like AJ don't always have the answer. Sometimes AJ's crazy. AJ needs a sane
Right.
person.
Like what?
The
I
hell?
need somebody to bounce ideas off of. I think that is the point. Cause look at this platform, right? We be on here bouncing ideas off of each other. I think when we show
Yeah.
up with the expectation that we have the answer, in fact, right? It doesn't
I
lend to a
appreciate
great
y'all for showing
experience.
up. I can appreciate that. You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely.
I didn't
Yeah,
have
but
to be
Kev,
here. You know.
people,
I didn't expect the agreement, but
well,
I do appreciate the
yes,
talk.
but
You know what
you're
I'm saying?
also talking to two people in here who, on separate occasions, because I've heard it, have told you that we appreciate the space that you hold
Oh
Hmm.
no, that's
to
what I'm
have
saying.
these
Yeah.
conversations.
I was
So
just
we
I was just
all
throwing the
appreciate
topic
each
in there. I'm
other.
just showing that I appreciate every
Yeah,
moment, even if you know what I'm saying.
exactly.
So that's what I'm making that higher than my expectations. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm doing.
I don't know what your expectation was for me to come in here because that seems like more entitlement after you tried to mod me eight
I guess my
times.
expectation was to expect somebody to come in here, but hey,
Right.
hey, look, if nobody came in here, I appreciate the effort I put in. You know what I'm saying? It's something I'm gonna try to appreciate that I even had the time to even have my internet on and click this on. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna always try to trump my appreciation over my expectations. So that's just me. You know what I'm
Look,
saying?
all
I'm
I'm
always
saying
find something
is,
within it. Always
you wanna
find
know what's
something
funny
within
though?
it. That's
You
just
wanna know
my
what's
new
funny?
frame.
I'm gonna tell you what's funny about it because I could see Kev doing this. If he opened up a live and no one came in, how many times he gonna shut down, restart that live, check his other phone, do everything else
And you
frustratingly
right.
while
You
it's
right.
working?
I'm gonna talk to her about or something at
I'm
least, you know what
done.
I'm saying?
Message TikTok, get
I
frustrated.
I appreciate that about
Uh,
Kev.
but at least I went through the process. If nobody still came in here, hey, you know what? I tried. You know what I'm saying? I always appreciate at least trying, you know.
I'm
I
just
could have
Nothing.
saying, I
gave
just
up.
love that. I was like,
That's
I
why I
could see
said
him
it's a
doing it too on
perfect
his other
topic.
phone.
If you're talking about sex,
Oh yeah. This gonna
it
get talked
definitely
about a
applies.
few times. There's gonna be a couple parts on this too. Especially tomorrow. Whew, that's gonna have about 14 series like that.
You
Yeah,
got a
you
topic
laugh. You
tomorrow
already
that's gonna
know
be
that
14
time.
series.
It's
Oh,
juicy.
y'all
You know
got
what I'm
some
saying? That's gonna be juicy.
insiders. What time do I show up? Cause y'all got something brewing.
Uh,
Mhm.
yeah. Well, you good. You know what I'm saying? You in Cali. You know you like 3 hours behind. So
Oh
if even if
yeah.
I'm late, I'm like late. You know.
You good.
Yeah, that's what I'm
My
saying.
stuff
What
varies
time
though.
is this juicy topic you got going on tomorrow?
I don't know. I gotta get my schedules down and stuff. I don't know. I think if I get on, it's gonna be about on my time. It may be.
Chalk it up.
Shoot. I don't know. I want to watch it at probably after I see this fight. After I watch this fight, I might come on. So that might be about 8 o'clock, maybe 8 9 o'clock. If not, that it's gonna be 11 o'clock. But that'll be your 5 o'clock or
Yeah, he
your
gonna be on about the same time he was on tonight, about 11.
probably. I don't know.
About
I don't
11
want to.
still.
I don't want no
Mhm.
expectations. You know.
Cause you gotta take a nap. You gotta take a nap and get rest. Lord,
Yeah, I took a nap. I did it. I tried to
Right.
do a two
Yeah.
2 hour nap. Oh, I tried to do a 1 hour nap and it ended up being like two, and
Good
then I
night,
still
y'all.
ain't get on until like another hour after that. So yeah, I got on like 11 o'clock. So
Mhm.
good night, good
I
night.
Well,
expected, you know,
what's up, podcast?
What's up with y'all?
podcast in the building. What's the
Okay.
deal?
Hey, hey, hey.
Hey. Hey. Is this your topic? Lacks expectations, more appreciation?
No, this it's this other guy named Laugh or Learns topic. You know,
Oh,
he
yeah, the other guy, huh?
The alter ego, huh?
The other guy sound like he got small hands.
right.
Ooh.
I forgot you the one that talking about this. He gotta trick you, right? Trick you with the big hands. Put the false boys on. Gotcha.
I
Now you
do
gonna
agree
take
with
these
that
little
though.
hands.
Less expectations, more appreciation. I agree with that movement. I get that, but it's only coming from the fact of being scarred. I would say. I would say if I never was scarred, I would have like high expectations. Unfortunately, when you grow up in a Caribbean household, they're like, you need to get a lawyer, you need to get a doctor, you need to make sure your man is this, you need to make sure your man is that, blah 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 blah. So from the ladies who grew me up, the home training, it was like not beneficial. And then you go out in the real world and you realize that a lot of men that you're dating or a lot of the partners that you're going to come up against, they're also facing their own struggle. And so when you two come together, and then most of the topic during a relationship is financial. A lot of people don't like to admit that, but when you both of you are not financially stable, I'm not saying y'all can't like feed yourself, but like when you want to have goals and you want to get a house or you want to do this or whatever stuff like that,
Mhm.
finances come up, and then after that, it's like these expectations. Well, I still expect you to treat me, as a woman. I still expect you to treat me right. I still expect you to be here emotionally for me. Whole time, dude over there fighting demons, battle his mom, grandma. Whole time I'm fighting my mom, grandma, demons, battles, everything. And it's just like, I'm going to you because I want this companionship and common ground, but at the same time we're not recognizing or acknowledging that life is pulling us as well. So I had to put the expectations down and say, you know what? Life is short and life is like a vapor. And at the end of the day, let me appreciate you for what you can do and what you could be. But
Mm.
that doesn't mean I'm gonna condone horrible behavior. I'm not gonna condone where you could, or where I see that you could do this and you're just not doing it, because then it becomes an excuse. Because I'm not over here using my struggle as an excuse. You don't use yours as an excuse. And I think that we're old enough
Mhm.
to kind of discern or tell and say, like, hey, this person is genuine or this person is not genuine. And then you got to make that decision. And it's a case by case thing, because everybody's situation is
Oh,
going to be different.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And I think it's
Thank
the
you.
same thing with expectations too, because like at the same time, like I know with my upbringing, the way I grew up and everything else, a lot of the expectations that I spent a lot of my in my 20s trying to pursue weren't even expectations of my own.
Mm-hmm.
Those were
Mm.
Yes.
expectations that came from other
Mm-hmm.
people,
There you go.
right?
Mm.
There
Think
you
about
go.
it.
That's
You
how
know
it
what I mean? When
is.
we're sitting here trying to do all of that, we can't blame ourselves for having unrealistic expectations for
Yeah.
ourselves,
Come on.
right? And the reason why I learned not to have patience when it came to having high expectations was because there was no patience for me.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
I was taught that, right? And
Mm-hmm.
as you get older, like as we are all, we're all adults now, and we do see this, not only all over this app, but just in life in general. We're all trying to unlearn a lot of this stuff,
Yeah.
right? So it
Yeah.
doesn't go on to other generations,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because I know, kind of like podcast was saying, like a lot of the expectations that were for me are beyond unrealistic. I'm supposed to,
Mm-hmm.
basically, the expectation for me is to be so selfless. I can't be selfish.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do nothing
Mm-hmm.
for me.
Mm-hmm.
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 Mm.
Mm-hmm.
How is that realistic if I got to be a
Right.
human being?
Yep.
Right.
I got no expectations for me, but I got to have expectations for Kev. I got to respect his expectations, his boundary, everybody else's boundary, all these other things.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Where's mine?
Everybody
Right.
matter but me.
Where's mine? And then
Right.
I
Mm-hmm.
wondered why. Okay, I wondered why in my 20s. Why did I struggle with boundaries so much? Why was
Mm-hmm.
I always so
Mm.
disappointed?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
These
Mm.
expectations were never mine. These were other
Mm-hmm.
people's.
Trial and
Mm-hmm.
error.
Yep.
Trial and
Mm-hmm.
error.
I
Yeah.
love what
So you gotta
AJ said
learn.
about unlearning. We literally have to strip every single thing that we've learned, not even just about love, but everything about life, and then
Mm-hmm.
revamp it to the way the world is moving today. I had this
Mm.
conversation with my partner, and he gets mad because he's pretty old school, which and I'm old school and old fashioned too. But at the end of the day, being a teacher has shown me that this young generation, they're moving. They're going. They're
Hmm.
sure of themselves. They're not waiting for anything. They're not tolerating disrespect. They're not. It's just the way we think that the world was. It's not. And if we
Mm-hmm.
don't acknowledge that, we'll be sadly left behind. And then let's say you go back and you're not with your partner anymore. You go back into the dating world. The dating world is even different because older men and middle-aged men, they're hooking up with the young culture. You understand? So they already acknowledge that it's that this world right now is hookup culture, whether we like to admit it or not. And so
Hmm.
they've become accustomed to, you know what, let me move that in that direction to the point where I'm already accepting I might not be able to find something genuine. Let me just go on. And then they get caught up with women. And then you
Mm-hmm.
get caught up in history with women. Then you get
Yep.
caught up with drama. So when the time is you hit me, or like we say in the Caribbean, by the time is you buck me and you meet me and I'm old fashioned, you were old fashioned before you seeped yourself in this hookup culture. You don't know what to do because you got 10 women behind you with all the drama and all this, and then after that you still trying to pull yourself out that world and that's following you. It's so weird. Like the world is moving and changing, and it's so sad that every day you wake up it's always going to be something new. Like I've literally dropped every single expectation I've ever had for anybody in my life, because I'm like, if I don't do this, I'm gonna end up like completely throwing these people out my life, because
Mm.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna keep on
Yeah.
getting angry at the same time. I'm like, I gotta drop it and meet y'all where y'all at. And then
Right.
after that, I stay alone most. I go home, I go to work, come home, and then after that I try to find ways to and have a conversation. I'm so big on communication. I truly believe proper communication can fix so many problems. I'm like, we're like me and my sister right now, we were inseparable at a young age. Right now we don't get along at all. And I'm the older sister, so I got to take the high road, and I'm going to be like, you know what? I got to understand that you're tired. She's angry. Like, she's an angry soul. But she's angry because she works a lot. But at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, it doesn't condone your behavior of how
Mm-hmm.
you're being a bitch to my mom, or you're being that way to me. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not even
Yeah.
just in relationships. It's like with your siblings, your family. And how long do I take the high road before I tell you, like, yo, you need to chill out. I'm gonna put this wall down and boundary. And then if you can't respect that, you can't be in my life.
Gotta go.
And
You
nine
gotta
times
bounce.
out of ten, you'll find out where she'll come back around and apologize, and then it goes into a cycle. Expectations and boundaries. Boundaries are important. Put them up, but my expectations has dropped. But only due to being scarred. If I would never was scarred, I would
Well,
still probably been out like the women in my family with, oh, a man need to be this and a man need to be that. You need to take care of me. You need to buy me some land. You need,
Right. We
it
getting
would
somewhere.
trust
We
me.
getting somewhere.
Yeah. So
well, and that's like
You
that's
know
like the
one
thing.
thing, huh?
Oh,
Somebody
go
say?
ahead, Kev. Go ahead.
Oh
Go
no,
ahead, Kev.
one thing I had heard you said something. Hold up, about the you know what, and it made me think about this because I've learned to even be appreciative of the good and the bad. I think that we might not appreciate the bad at the moment, but I think we appreciate it later down the line. That's what it is.
mm,
Because a lot of that stuff, even the bad, we learn from it. You know what I'm saying? Imagine if we didn't go through the bad or the worst, you know what I'm saying? We wouldn't grow from it. You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't know how to handle it if we didn't go through it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say I started learning to appreciating the good and the bad, even if I don't appreciate the bad at the moment. You know, sometimes people don't even appreciate the good at the moment because their
Mm-hmm.
expectations be so high. You know what I'm saying? And
mhm.
they forget to appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I was saying. Just overall, I think I appreciate both. You know what I'm saying? Just life being life and stuff, and still be able to live life. So
Yeah, we definitely gotta. I agree. Yeah, we gotta appreciate things, but also too, like with that being said, you know, especially when it comes to expectations, especially living expectations that aren't yours. Like I, majority of my expectations are for myself,
yep.
right? Because I'm the only person I can control. I can't control what other people do.
Hmm.
I
Mhm.
have a set of boundaries. Like, hey, you cross this, you pretty much 86 yourself out of here, and so on and so forth. I don't hold any room for entitlement. You don't get
Hmm.
entitled. Not everybody is entitled to be in my grace. I said
Yep.
what I said. It is what it is. Like, I'm the CEO of my life. I'll fire you, demote you, promote you. I don't care. You're not entitled to be here. I did. I could be your best friend, and you know what I mean. You cross certain boundaries. Bye.
Mhm.
You know what I mean. I have no expectation of other people, and I know that for years people told me that sounded mean. What do you mean you have no
Yeah.
expectation for people? You got trust issues. No, let's be 100% honest. If I had an expectation and I put all my expectations and I got accustomed to, say, for me, right? Somebody taking care of everything for me, all my needs, right? Say emotional needs. Okay, you're my emotional person. I'm going to go to you. What am I going to do if that person unalives?
Mhm. Yep.
I ain't got shit. So the
So
expectation has to start with you. I try to have realistic ones instead of pushing for higher ones because those were unrealistic and not mine. AJ, you got to be successful. AJ, you got to take care of your family. AJ, you got to, you know what I mean, work 108 hours a week and try to get a master's degree at the same time. Yeah, I did it, but why was that my expectation at the time? I didn't
hey Jules,
appreciate it at the time.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
what
think
can
even
I say
self
this?
expectation is like a motivation thing. When you got self expectation, that's usually used for some
Mhm.
type of motivation. As I
No, no,
think
my
about it.
motivation's there. I got expectations on my expectation comes from what I know. I
Right.
Yeah,
know what I can achieve. I know what I can do. I keep that
yeah.
realistic. Just because I can do that doesn't mean I want to. How do I do this comfortably and be smart about it?
All right.
I'm not trying to waste all that energy.
Can you give me an example of self expectation?
Like
Hmm.
a self expectation.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I have an expectation for me. The expectation is that I move in a good way, and I know that may sound unrealistic, but that's not. Meaning I can have a conversation or not see the same point of view as somebody else. Doesn't have to get disrespectful. If they get disrespectful with me, there's two different types of expectations. One, yes, I'm still going to try to move in my good way. That's the expectation. That's also the goal in the moment.
This thing
But the other expectation is I got to
tripping.
be realistic. I'm human. So if I spaz, that's not a problem. I'm human. You know what I mean? I got to give myself the expectation for growth, my expectation for failure. That starts with me. That doesn't reside in other people.
Gotcha.
So that would be an example of
Mm.
like self expectation.
Copy. Copy.
Well,
Mhm.
Absolutely.
my thing is this: I have expectations for everybody in my life because my expectations is simple: respect and communication. That's the bottom line for everybody. That goes for my mom, my sister, my brother, my boyfriend, my
Is that a standard
neighbor.
or expectation?
That's my expectation, that you respect me and you held a certain level of communication with me according to the relationship that we have. Now, if you are my
Okay.
coworker, that communication is going to be effective and respectful, but it may not be as often because you're my coworker.
So,
If you are my sister,
mhm,
right, we're going to communicate a little bit more intimate, right?
mhm.
And it may be more often, but it's going to be done with respect.
So can I ask you a question? What if that expectation is not met by those people?
Then that's where the communication comes in, because everybody in my life I have to be able to communicate with.
But communication is not it's not set in stone to work for you though. It don't mean just because you communicated it's going that somebody gonna understand the same way.
So again, my expectation is not to keep people forever and always. That's not the expectation.
But that's where I be messing up. I be wanting to keep people forever.
Right. And that's the unrealistic part, right? That's the
Ew, that's what's
unrealistic part of
absent.
what we're
Probably
talking about.
true.
Now, of course, I'm not gonna lose my sister. She's gonna always be my sister. But we may not always vibe because at some point, if she gets disrespectful and we can't communicate about it, then we cannot keep the relationship that we have, right? But if you
Which
are
that's a
my
standard.
friend, right? But it's an expectation.
There's
I
an expectation
expect
behind it
you
though. Yeah.
to treat me with respect, and I expect you to hold a certain level of communication with me,
I think I
That's
think
which is,
respectful.
I think that's very dangerous though.
Yes, right. Exactly. I was about to say it's like an
Mm,
entitlement.
and look, this is the
I don't
thing.
think it is.
Here's the thing.
I don't think it is.
You can call it,
I think I can respect that. I can
yeah,
respect
you
that
can
because
call
what
it
she's
what you
saying is,
like because
hmm
I am committed to doing the same. So if you feel
yeah,
that that's entitlement, then I mean, you can call it, whatever you like. But I'm going to respect you, right? And I'm going to communicate at a certain level with you.
I don't
yeah.
How
think
is
that's
that
Yes.
entitled?
expectation. I just think that's probably protection. But for Queen
I feel like
Diva, when
that's a
you said you
boundary.
want to, for when you said you want to keep everybody in your life, I was the same way. But I'll tell you this: 2019, I lost two friends, two best friends. When I said we woke up, did every single thing together. We knew
Mm-hmm.
when each other's cycles was on. We knew everything in each other's life. I'm over her parents' house, helping at their parents' restaurant. She's over my house, doing every. When I say we were too interlocked to the point where her job and my job are like, hey, y'all can't go on no more lunch breaks together. And we were two different Oh
Mm.
places.
Yeah.
Like in, and we had a third party too as well, interlocked to the point where I had forgotten that in May 5th, I had said a prayer where I was just trying to be more intentional with my life.
Uh huh.
And in August, and I'll never forget the argument date, August 19th, I lost both of them as a friend at the same time. And I was like, yo, like, what? Like, this was confusing out of nowhere. It came. But
Mhm.
because of that prayer where I was trying to be more intentional with my life,
Mhm.
for me, I'm gonna say God, universe, whatever. But for that higher power up there, they knew that those people were never going to. There were cracks in the relationship, but
Right.
they never. He knew that they were never gonna move the way I wanted to move. You understand? In the
Right.
future, it might have not been right then and there, but
Mhm.
he knew for sure that they weren't. Because even when I would put out like suggestions to like let's boost ourselves. Well, let's boost yourself. Like one of them wanted to be a barber. I was like, yo, let me get you the barber kit. Like go there, do your thing. You have a kid. Da, 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 let's get it moving. And because they were so stuck in their mind at that time, they couldn't see past themselves. So they
Right.
didn't think anything of themselves to move. The other one felt like she was entitled because of her parents. So she didn't feel as if she needed to do anything because mom and dad are always going to be there to take care of me, and that's how they had it. That's fine. But for me, due to my background, it was always I had to be independent. I've been independent most of my life. 17, I was living on my own, and I'm just like, you know what? When it happened at first, I was just confused, but suddenly in my mind, the memory, I was just like, yo, back in May, I remember praying about XYZ, but I didn't think it would have been them getting cut out my life. You want to keep people forever, and let me tell you, I'm a big grown woman, and I cried like a baby
Hmm.
for 2 years. Two
And
years
for
is gonna.
me, yeah, and for me, I'm the type of person
Mhm.
because like when I'm friends with somebody or I'm associates or whatever the dealing is, I work so hard, right? So like when you're friends with somebody for a while, it takes work to be in a relationship. That's any kind of
Mhm.
relationship. And when you put a lot of work into it, that's the part that hurts when it's
Yep.
over. Even if you know, like I've been in friendships where I knew that the friendship was over, and it still lasted like another 2-3 years even of me knowing that it was over, because I just didn't want to let it go, because we had so many years together, we had so many memories together, I put so much effort into it, so it was extremely hard for me to let go, because my expectations going in it was for it to last forever.
Yep.
So when we have those expectations going in it and then things start to change, it's very hard for us to adjust to those changes, because we only see and think about what we want, right? We don't, a lot of times we don't think about the what ifs, well, what if this person
Mhm.
changes, or anything could happen, right? But we just go into it wanting what we want out of the situation, so when things don't add up, or we know that it's not something healthy or good, then we still hold on to it longer, because we have that expectation of what we had when we first initially went into the situation.
I love what
Can
you
I
said
point
about that
something
because
out?
people grow, people change, people
Right,
are subject to change. And if
right,
I change, I wouldn't want anybody to, be mad that I changed. Like, I would want you to respect it. And if we can't see eye to eye, I'm a type of person, let's wish each other well and say, like, goodbye. But we no longer serve each other. And now I'm cautious on how I invest in a relationship, whether it's
right,
friendship or anything,
right.
because I don't want to be mad that I invested it. You understand?
But
Like I don't want to
sometimes,
get
but
mad
but
that I
sometimes
invest
it's not
later.
about.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's not about being mad. There's a lot
Mhm.
of different emotions other than mad, right? So you can be disappointed, you can be sad.
Yeah.
There's other.
Yeah.
Even if there was no falling out. I mean, I had a best friend of 10 years. I was the godmother to her daughter, and we literally talked on the phone one day and never talked again. There was no conversation. There was no fall. It was just that was the end of that relationship. It was very disappointing, but I wasn't angry because nothing actually happened. There was
Hmm.
nothing for me to be angry about. So,
Can I point
Good
something
point.
out to you, ladies?
mhm.
Go ahead.
So to be grown, and I'm not judging you, right? I just want you to just want to say this. To be grown and to have somebody that close where you do literally everything together. To me, as beautiful as it was unrealistic. It wasn't like you set an expectation there. It was something that you all grew into that then became the norm, right? So that's not a place where you should have checked well, that definitely is a place where you should have checked your expectation, because that's an unrealistic situation. Twins born in the same household don't often do those things together. And I know that it was beautiful because we're always happy when we can find somebody that clicked with us that much. But when you say you said a prayer that you wanted to be intentional about you, that's always going to cause for separation. And the level of um what am I trying to say? The level of togetherness that you all had, there was no way that you could possibly, like, if you got two people living two separate lives that are literally living one life seemingly, somebody's life is being neglected. There's no possible way two people can live two full lives and spend that much time together except for a married couple.
I
So
understand what you're saying, and in my situation, in reference to look, when you look back on it, we weaved into each other because of trauma.
right,
So
right.
that
So
that's an understandable, but I'll disagree and say that it's not unrealistic. But if in the event that these ladies were willing to like up the ante and do whatever they had to do within themselves in reference to trying to elevate themselves, it would have been still a beautiful friendship. It would have still been there. So I disagree that it's
absolutely. No, no,
You
unrealistic,
no.
but
I'm
that
agreeing with
particular
you.
case was due to trauma. That's what
Right.
was keeping
Yeah.
us weaved in together, and
Right.
the foundation built on trauma
Mhm.
was never bound to last.
Right.
And that's my whole
Right.
point there, right? That in particular situation where if the three of you were doing what you should have been for you separately, you wouldn't have had that much time to spend with each other. You see what I'm saying? It would have had to go a little bit differently for you to focus on each other. But you
Right.
said you made the prayer, you were also coming up with ideas to help forward everybody individually. So that energy you were putting into everybody else's life, right? Now you can put into yourself.
Yeah.
So it all makes sense, right? But to think that we could keep up those connections forever is the unrealistic part, right? So
Or
your
to think,
expectation was that they live full lives, right? That's what you wanted as a goal. We got this friend group together, let's all be better. So you don't need to check that expectation, right? That was a good thought. That was a good thing. You hold on to that and you move forward and expect that from all of your friend groups moving forward with the understanding that if we're going to accomplish this, we're not going to have that much time together. So going into the next friend group, right, or moving forward, I understand that what's more important is that we live full lives. We're going to get along better. Things are going to go a lot smoother if we're all happy individually, as opposed to spending every possible moment together.
I
You
probably
see what I
so
mean?
don't wouldn't move
so
into another friend group in the future. And the reason why
Well,
I'm
I get
saying
it.
that, I'm more associated, and not just because of that. I think in reference to where I am at life now, like I said before, I don't hold any expectations, friendship or relationship wise. I just see people where they're at, listen to them, hear them out. If I could chime in, help you out in any way that I can, and once I'm capable, do what I gotta do, and then after that, go back into my separation and evaluation, because I'm not done constructing myself as yet right now. And then after, but that doesn't mean I don't have a tribe. I do have a beautiful supportive tribe, but in reference to say go into a friend group with any expectation for the rest of my life, it'll never happen again.
right. I was just going to say, like, in any friendship, even people that are friends for 20, 30, 40 years, I mean, you're
Mhm.
going to have peaks and valleys, right?
Yep.
Both of you all are going to be going through different situations at different times, right? But I feel like if you are aligned and there's understanding, then you will be able to go through that together. It just takes a sense of understanding to be able to do that, because no
Mhm.
matter how close you are to somebody, even if the relationship, because you could be really tight with somebody like that for years, and then over time you kind of distance, but it's not intentionally, it just may be something going on in each other's lives, right, where you're not able to talk as much or hang around each other as much, but you're still
Mhm.
connected, you're
right.
still connected. So I feel like the expectation of things being exactly how it started or always being one way, that's wrong in any
That's the
relationship.
unrealistic part. Yeah.
Is
Right,
I
that's
mean, is that a
unrealistic.
I mean,
Yeah.
is that a difference between like certain men and certain women? Because um, the only expectation I have in not even my male friends, but people in general, is for them to be who the hell they are. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I
Mhm.
don't have any other expectation like besides that. I don't care if we've been
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
cool for 10 years and we stop talking. All right, cool. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
If you
I can
switched up
honestly.
or whatever, yo, that's you. I expect you to be you at the end
You
of the
right.
day. Because
Yeah.
any other expectation is shooting myself in the foot.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
and
you're
that's the
right.
thing. That's
I
not
Because
feel
just
people
you on
that's
that. You're right
change,
on that.
life
sorry.
Yep.
change, situations change. I need you to be you, whatever that
Hmm.
is. And
I,
I hold room for
yeah,
that.
and
Absolutely.
I don't think that's just exclusive to men because I'm that way. Like if I do have an expectation for anybody, it's just be your unapologetic self at the end of the day. and that's it. But I also, kind of to touch on, like, what Dazzle was saying in podcast. I used to be that person too. I used to be that person that would put way more into friendships or relationships with people than need be, right? But I had to learn basically the lesson that I had to learn in that situation, which I super appreciate a lot of the time, especially now, is that I have to handpick people,
Mm-hmm.
right? Not everybody gets to be in my garden,
We'll say
That
that
part.
again.
right? They
Right.
don't. Not everybody deserves to be in your garden, so you have to start handpicking people, right? And how I learned to do this was through boundary,
Yeah.
right? A lot of people will misconstrue my boundary for an expectation. My boundary is my boundary, and then I do have a warning, right? So if you're not, it doesn't, again, it's not gonna, this isn't something I tell every single person. No, like if you want to get to know me on, outside this app, everything else, I will tell you the same thing. I have two main boundaries, right? Two, two main ones. Don't lie to me, right?
Same.
Be honest. Don't lie to me, and respect me. Be respectable. That's it. Be respectable. Those are my only two things. The only two things I ask you to do are those two things. And if you cannot do those things,
Mhm.
you can go,
Yep,
right?
That's
that's a
the same thing
boundary
I
right
said.
there.
Respect and
And
honest
so
communication.
that's why I was saying, like, what Niche was saying. I don't think it's unrealistic that she has those expectations for people, right?
Yeah,
Like
that's
we
but
all
that's a
Everybody.
kind of do
boundary
to a
though.
degree.
That's difference. That's called a
Well,
boundary.
No, it
potato,
could.
potato.
Because you can have an
Yeah.
It could be
expectation
either
of one,
way.
but if a person make it go past that, that means you got the option to cut that off. But they're not entitled to doing that. You know what I'm saying? They make a
But
choice
they're not
of
entitled.
respecting
But they're
you.
not entitled to me either.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
So
the
that's
other.
why that's a
So
boundary. You set a boundary, and if it don't
so yeah,
fit if it don't fit what you
exactly.
wanted to do, then that's when you make that choice to cut
Well,
it off or
exactly.
not.
Well,
But
Well,
us,
exactly.
here's the thing. There's no boundary to disrespect. Either you're respectful or you're not.
yeah,
You
with
see what
certain
I'm
people it
saying?
is.
Believe it or
Some people got
not,
a different
yeah,
tolerance
For
for
bar.
certain
me, for
people, they
me,
see
there
that
isn't.
differently.
So
But for
Mm-hmm.
what I'm
you, it may
saying,
be like that. But trust me, the world
I was
out
about to say for
there,
somebody else it's something different. Yeah.
but here's the
yeah.
thing. My expectations don't move with what the world thinks. They
Yeah.
move
But
according to
but
what
then in
works
your
for
conversation,
me.
that'll be subjective. But in a
Yeah.
general,
Yeah.
and generally, it's just gonna be different.
It's
Well,
different,
well,
right?
well, see,
Exactly.
that's the thing. This is what we're talking about in this conversation, right? My
Mhm.
expectations are my expectations according to how I want to live my life. I don't
Exactly.
care if the world says up and everybody else says down. I don't care if they say pigs are okay to be pets and now they're not. Like it just does not matter what the world is doing. I have to move with what works for me because this is my life. That's
But
why
that's.
my expectations are what they are for the people
But
who want to be
also.
a part of
And
my
I
life. Now, if
But
they
also.
think that certain words are considered respectful, right? And I don't agree, then it's still my expectation that you not use those words. You see what
But
I'm
either
saying?
way. Either way, whether you want to call it a boundary, or like with her, it's an expectation. She's still being realistic within her expectation because it's her expectation.
but if
She's
it
not
don't happen,
making
then
her.
what happened?
She's not basing. That's what it is. Do you make every
That's what I'm
single
saying.
expectation?
Easy.
You don't
That's what
get
I'm saying.
So
everything
We
you
if it
mixing.
want.
don't happen,
But
Kev,
We
again,
mixing. That's a
Let me
boundary. It's not
finish.
called a. That's
sorry,
not called
Hold
a.
on. No, no,
let me
When
hold
you
let
have an
on,
AJ
hold on.
finish.
Let
expectation
me
to
finish.
somebody else, right?
Let
That's
me
where it
finish.
get unrealistic. That's why
Let me
it will
finish.
go back to look. It will go back to
Y'all.
what like I like how respect put it, right? The thing is, you do expect that's the best way to put it. You expect people to be people, human to be human. You know what I'm saying? That's the best way to have expectations because anything above that from just dealing with another human, that is called an entitlement. You know what I'm saying? So if it's not an entitlement, then what I'm saying is if it ain't
Okay.
that, then it's a boundary you have to set if it don't meet your expectation with something. You know what I'm saying?
But
So that's
we're
that's what I
talking.
mean about
Okay,
that. But
but
the
I'm
best you
talking.
can do is expect a human to be a human. That's all you can expect.
Yes,
So listen to what I'm
yes. But if
saying.
okay,
You're
but with
right.
that being said, hold on. With that being said, if we're gonna have the expectation for a human to be a human being, then I have to respect that. Basically, I'm gonna have that same expectation for her. So if her expectations which to me are very realistic because expectations also depend on the person. We were just talking about how many of us were living expectations that weren't our own. What my expectation is going to differ from the next person. My boundary is
Yeah.
going to differ from the next person. There's not a blanket, these, this is the expectation and this is what it is for all people. It's
Yeah.
okay for that to change. For her, it's an expectation. For me, it's a boundary. There's nothing wrong with that. I can respect that because my expectation is for her to be her unapologetic self, to be human.
Yeah.
I can appreciate that. So
That's
You
why I
let's
say
you
bring
have
it
to
back to the
understand
I
that.
communication
feel what
side.
you're saying, but as soon as you put an
Yeah.
expectation on another human that's not you, that's when it becomes
Facts.
unrealistic. That's what I mean about that. You can't never make no
No,
I
expectation
can't
of
have an
another person that's
expectation for
not you.
somebody to be human.
listen. It becomes work because relationships are work. So you
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but
can be
relationships
Yep.
don't
What?
go. I
hold on.
mean,
You
I
can be a human, Kev, over there in Detroit.
I
I
can't
can
agree
be
with
a
that.
part of your life or not be a part of your life,
yeah,
right? I allow everybody to be human. I
right.
am saying that I have expectations for every person in my life who holds a position in my life. That means my friends, my neighbors, my cousins, my brother, my sister, everybody who has a title in my life, there is an expectation because that's how they got that position in my life. Other than that, you can be whomever you want and be human wherever you want to be. But I'm not asking people to do something that they're not able to do. So even you being human in Detroit, right? I still expect when I come to your space that you give me respect and communication.
Mm-mm.
But
How
this, I
how
Now,
can
think,
you say
you
that?
may hold on. You may not meet that. Then I have a choice to remove myself. And all
Then
is
that's
well.
called a boundary, then,
I think,
right?
Whatever you call it, that's what it is.
but y'all
you
know how,
you just
You
don't
see
want
what
to
I'm
say it,
saying?
but that's what
Have
that
just said
is.
that, yeah.
but
That's
you know
fine.
It
how
is a
people,
boundary.
but
But
you know
That's
here's the
what
how
I'm
people
saying.
difference.
She
say,
don't want to say it, but
But
that's what that
but
is.
here's the
When
difference.
somebody don't meet your expectation, that's when you set the boundary and get the heck on. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not fitting what you want it to be,
but
right?
you
Okay,
know
I
how
will agree with you.
nowadays
But
people
here
will
is the
say,
difference. When I'm dealing with people in my life that hold a position and they don't meet that expectation, there is communication. That's why that's important for them to stay in that position. Now, if we communicate about it, right, and that doesn't go well, then I'm going to then again, you called it a boundary. Let's go with that. I'm going to enforce my boundaries after so much communication and we're not making headway, right? I'm going to remove myself. I'm no longer going to participate, right?
I feel
And
like the
I
disconnect
allow,
here is that you're talking about the effects of an expectation being broken, but you're not necessarily talking about the expectation because, like you're saying, like if this is done, I'm gonna do this, and then that's why Kev is telling you it's like a boundary. So you're not initially talking about your expectation. You're just telling, hey, these are the repercussions if my expectation is broken.
no, I've said both.
Yeah. But I'm saying
I've said
when
both.
you set expectations for others, that's like setting yourself up for what's that? Dang, I had the word in my it for man, I'm mad. You set yourself up. I can't say failure. It was another word. Disappointment. You set yourself
Disappointment.
up for disappointment when you put expectations upon others,
I
right?
don't believe that's me setting myself up for
Yeah,
disappointment. That is disappointment is going to come. This is life.
yeah,
But
yeah. I feel you
setting
on that. I
myself
feel
up
you on
with
that.
disappointment would be looking at you, being Kev in Detroit, being human,
Yeah,
me not agreeing with the way that you move, right? I don't think that you respect people. I don't think that you communicate well. And I'm still going to say, hey, Kev, yeah, let's be friends. That's setting myself up for disappointment because I already know that we don't agree with the things that
Mm.
are most important to me, right? So I wouldn't do that. That
But
would
then
be
it
setting
comes full
myself up.
circle
So
because
hold
that's what
on.
expectations are.
No, it's not. Just
It
having an
definitely is
expectation.
because
Hold
you don't
on.
know
Let
anybody
me
or you don't know
explain.
what anybody is capable of.
Okay, again, just having an expectation does not set me up. Being unrealistic of my expectations is what sets me up. Because again, if I've already know who Kev is and I know I don't agree, me moving closer to him or giving him a position in my life is the setup. That's the part y'all not getting.
But you're gonna face things, and that's why we said that at the end of the day, everybody's entitled to change. So there is no
Right.
really expectation on anybody, because at the end of the day, I could be happy today. I could be moving and driving and stuff like that. You might not know I'm depressed. You might not know I'm bipolar. Then tomorrow
Those are
I'm freaking
emotions.
out.
Right.
I'm shutting down XYZ. And then you're like, oh, girl, what's happened to you? XYZ. What if I don't ever want to release it? I'm bipolar. You still have these connotations of me, and you still want to see me in this light, you know? So all the
Those are
expectations have to
emotions.
fly. All the
Right.
expectations to you is emotions, but to regular people,
Even
that's a
that,
mental
like
illness. But
humans
all
have
That's
that
fine.
emotions,
expectations
so you
fly
can't have
You
out the
no
can.
window.
expectation of a
There
human's
are no
emotions, right?
expectations.
What did I
Yeah.
say was important? Respect and communication.
Yes, and that
Right.
that right
So
there
if
you're doing
your
right there is
emotions,
a that's
if
us
your
right.
emotions in that moment cause you to, in my opinion, disrespect me, right? In
Yes,
order to maintain in the proximity, right, in the position in my life, right, you can be human. But if we can't communicate about it, right,
right.
I'm going to enforce my choice to to move.
That's called a standard.
So what
That's what
happens?
that
Okay,
is.
Whatever you want to call it.
That's what
so
it
what?
is.
So what
My
Yeah, we're
happens
not
if
saying
you
you
expectations is
wrong for
say?
what you're
only
doing. It's
respect
just not called an
and
expectation.
communication.
But what about when people say, keep that same energy, right? You know how we say keep that same energy, but and
Hmm.
realistically, a person's not gonna always be able to keep the same energy. Like, and I feel like for me, that's why I always used to mess up. Like, if somebody come into my life and they act in a certain way and they doing certain things, I expect them to hold that standard all the way until
Hmm.
the end. I don't expect them to drop the bar at all. But that's because that's how I am. See, I can keep my energy up like that. I can keep that same, because that's just who I am. Unless
So
something
that's why I
actually
broke it
happens,
down.
yeah, unless something actually
What is that,
happens,
Dazzle?
But
you said,
even
What
in
is that
religion,
that
when
you're
you believe
keeping?
in God, God even tells you not to have expectations on Him. He literally tells you that's why faith is so hard to exercise, because it's like believing when you can't see that. He literally tells you, don't even have expectations of me. Because when you say a prayer to me, I'm not going to be a genie in a bottle. I'm not going to answer you right away. I'm not going to do the things that you want to do. You might get it
No,
done
the Bible says
What
in
you
your
ask
want
life.
me
with
to
the
But
do,
spirit of
right?
but at the end of the
expectation.
day, exercise faith.
I don't know
Even
that.
him
I
tells
don't know that.
you to not have expectations on him. He literally
No, the
tells you,
Bible
like,
says,
bro,
"Seek and you
I'm
shall
not gonna do
find;
that
knock
next.
and the door
Right.
shall be open.
He
Seek,
tells you to seek and you
ask,
shall
and it shall
find,
be
but at the
given."
end of the day, knock and the door
That's
shall be open.
expectation.
But that door is not gonna be open right away. That door might be
Faith is the
dangerous to
substance of
you.
things hoped
And he
for,
also
and the
promises
evidence of
you that
things
he'll
not
give you
seen.
your
All of
heart
that is
Hold up.
desires.
expectation.
Hold up.
But at the end of
Hold
the
up.
day, when he tells you that, he tells you that in the essence of free will. He tells you that he's going to give you your heart desires. That doesn't mean that your heart desires are not dangerous for you. He tells you he's going to grant you that. But he's also going to tell you, like, yo, this is not good for you, but I'm going to still give it to you for you to feel until you
Mm.
get the point where you're asking and praying for a different thing. So he
And
didn't
some
say seek and you shall find in the essence of you saying, like, oh, yeah,
So,
when I pray and ask God for this, I'm going to get it. Nah, he's going to give it to you because that's a gift of free will that he gave to us, and that's a gift that he gave to us as being our creator and loving us and telling us that, like, yo, I'm gonna show you the right way.
and sometimes they
now,
don't come in a form that we wanted to come in either. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
We
but
be expecting them to come into a certain form because
Thank you.
just because what he said, but it might not come the way we wanted to. So just because that we ain't see it the way we wanted to see it, that don't mean that it ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? That's how I be sometimes.
and I think at the same time too, like, yeah, we can all on this panel. Yeah, we shouldn't have expectations for other people, but let's talk realistic. Let's talk reality. We have expectations for other people. We all do.
Yeah, we
I ain't
do.
gonna speak for everybody, but most
I
of us
don't
do.
understand the thought that we
I
should
have
not, though.
expectations.
That's the part that
Now,
Nobody
bothers
said
now,
me.
not.
now, hold on,
It,
hold on, hold on. I'm not saying that you can't, right? The goal is to lessen your expectations on other people
yes.
to a degree, right?
Nope.
Not to have absolutely none. That's perfectly normal to have expectations on other people. I don't have an
Right.
issue with that. As long as it's realistic, right? An unrealistic expectation that I would have on another person is if I assumed everybody in this panel is supposed to understand things from my point of view. If I held every single one of you to that, I'm going to be full of disappointment, aren't I? If every time I ran around and alive and I expected everybody to have the same understanding I do, I'm going to run around with that disappointment.
Mm-hmm.
That's not realistic.
Fair enough. I think we
Realistic
can have micro
is for me,
expectations.
yeah, right? There's different types of expectations. There's emotional expectations that we set on people, right? Conduct expectation, you name it. The expectations come in a lot of different places, but it
You
is
said
realistic
respect.
for that.
Respect and
Yeah, respect
communication is
and
not
communication.
realistic. I think the expectation out of it is unrealistic. That's what that is. Because nobody's entitled to neither one of them. They don't have
Agreed.
to do it.
Yeah.
Yes, but expectation has nothing to do with entitlement.
Thank
They have
you.
nothing to.
I was
It
just
has
trying
nothing to
not
do
to
with entitlement.
interrupt.
Nothing to
I
do with
just don't
entitlement.
think that respect and communication is unrealistic for anybody.
To
Like if
I
expect it
I
from
agree.
can't
somebody else is
respect,
unrealistic. Yeah.
if I
I
can't get
understand.
respect and communication from anybody, they just don't need to be in my space. I don't care if it's online. I don't care if it's
Right.
at home. Like
Hmm.
respect and communication is the bottom line, and I don't feel like that's entitlement at all. But
No,
that's
it's
just
not
me.
entitlement.
I could be
It
wrong.
might
Well,
be.
No,
I'm
It
just
might.
saying to
You might
expect
think
it
that
from
like
somebody
that
that
the
is an
person
entitlement
is.
because
Yeah.
people don't have to give it to you. That's what I'm meaning. When people
Mm.
don't got the
Well,
option to give
if
it to
I'm
you or not,
entitled,
huh?
it's because I'm human. And if I can give respect and communication, I feel like we all can.
But
The
if you
law
expect
might
people to
feel
be like you, that's
entitled
where
that.
you mess up at. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. People don't have to
No,
do
respect and communication from me is not going to look the same.
The
It's
law
not.
exactly.
might feel
but
like a
Nikki,
criminal is entitled to tell them like what he did, but at the end of the day, they still state you have the right to remain silent. Although we might feel like, bro, you need to sit here and tell us like what went down. You understand? Because you like you're a criminal. You did this, but at the end of the day, universally they're like, yo, you have the right to remain silent. If you choose to talk, cool. If you don't, let's wait till the lawyer until we get in front of a judge. So in all
Okay,
aspects,
I
like
can't understand that one.
you might feel like, oh, and I agree. Communication, like I would hope that you have communication, but at the end of the day, there's some people who really feel as if, nah, that's not what I want to do, and they mean that.
Right.
I'm
Exactly.
telling you, and they
It's
mean
just
that.
like that. You don't know what's going
That's
on through
fine.
people's mind. They might not want to
Don't
talk to
make
you
me
today.
I love
You
that.
know.
entitled or unrealistic if I don't choose to participate. That's
Yeah,
all
and
I'm
that's
saying.
called I ain't gonna say it again, but
Call it
that's
what
what
you
that
want.
is.
Look,
You know what
I'm
I'm
not.
saying?
You can call it whatever you want. At the end of the day, the point is
Yeah.
is
So
that
if
the
somebody don't meet your okay, look,
expectation.
if somebody don't meet your
Hold
expectation, what do
on.
you do with them, right?
No, 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 no. Because it has nothing to do with the other person. Is the point? The expectation has nothing to do with the other person.
So
I
why
can have an
expect something from another
expectation.
person if
Hold
it
Yeah,
ain't got
on.
nothing to do with another
I
Hold
person then,
on.
yeah.
right?
I'm gonna explain that. That expectation has everything to do with me. Everything to do with me. I can sit there and say, yeah, I have the expectation, be unapologetically you. Is everybody going to be unapologetically them? No. But the ones that are allowed to be here. That's where it's at. It has everything to do with you. Not everybody is going to meet that expectation. Not everybody is going to respect said boundary. Those things are for you, right?
And AJ is saying that I'm hearing you say that's where you draw the line. Is that correct?
Like, what do you mean?
Well, I'm saying that if they don't have respect, right? Or if I feel like I'm being disrespected, the next step is to communicate. That's why those two things are the only things that I expect, right? If we can
Yeah,
communicate about it, then we can save the conversation, we can save the relationship, we can save the interaction. But if we can't
absolutely.
communicate about it, I'm going to remove myself.
Which is your personal boundary. Yeah, I
Right.
never said that was
And my personal
unrealistic.
right. But and
Yeah.
I know you didn't, but I'm
Yeah, I was
bringing
like, I never said
respect
that
and
was unrealistic.
communication to the table. When I come to Target and you in Target, I'm coming with respect and communication for everybody in Target.
And
Okay?
people gotta appreciate that about you, right? Because you don't have to
Well,
do it. You
they
don't
don't.
have to, but
You're
they need to
right. I
appreciate
mean,
that.
people should appreciate it enough
Right,
to
because
give
you
me
don't
the
have to do it.
same,
That's the
right?
point.
Enough to give me the same. If they can't give me the same, I'm going to disengage. That's all I'm saying. I think that when we,
Okay.
like you said, we try to put emotional boundaries or physical boundaries on people, that's when it gets to be, unrealistic. You get your heart broken. You get disappointed because you got all of these expectations of what other people were supposed to do and say. I didn't say that in order to respect me, you have to say good morning, queen. I didn't say that.
Hmm.
I just said respect. Everybody is capable of respect. Now, entitlement would say, no, you say good morning, queen. You see the difference? That's
So what?
entitlement.
So what happens if somebody say "Good morning, Queen" for a whole year every day, and then they stop? Then what?
I didn't, because I never expected them to do that. When they stop, they just stop. I'm not
Okay.
disappointed.
So what if
So that
one day
doesn't
that
become
they
a
don't get you respect?
right. But no, I no. The reason why I asked that is like
Mm-mm.
if somebody does something for a whole
Well,
year, right, and they make a pattern out of it, right, and then they stop doing it. I'm in my mind, most people are gonna be expecting them to keep doing it.
Yep.
And
It's
if
gonna
they
turn
don't,
off
Mm.
the
and if
red
they don't
flags.
do it, they're gonna want to know why, right? They're
Yeah.
gonna
Yep.
be curious
that's
Yep.
about it,
because
Because
that's
life
because we
changed and
also
people
set,
changed.
right?
yes, life changes, but we also set expectations for ourselves amongst other people. So if you've created the expectation that you said good morning, gorgeous or beautiful, every day for a year and suddenly stop, that person, you've now built that person's expectations that you're going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that, and that's why I'm
And
saying
I'm
that's where it get dangerous at, and it can hurt your feelings too, just because
Right.
you set that expectation of that
But
person
that,
doing it and stuff. That's where you get hurt. That's why I'm saying you set yourself up disappointed for having that
okay,
type of expectation, even if it
mhm.
seems fair or not.
So if you set a
but there's
Because
a
standard
if it
that
way to
I'm
don't
not
work,
combat
used
huh?
that.
to, if you set a standard that I'm not used to, right?
Hmm.
Now becomes my expectation and you
Mm-hmm.
suddenly quit. This is
Mm-hmm.
why, what is the second most important thing to me?
Communicate.
Communication.
Communication.
So
Right.
now,
Right.
if now I'm
That's where
depending
the sh-
on it, or if I notice it, or just like, oh,
Mm.
we can now talk about it,
Right.
right? And you may say, oh, I just ain't feeling that no more. If that
Right.
answer
Right.
Mhm.
suffices, because where do we weigh that? We've been knowing each other for a whole year, and now I'm gonna break up with you as a friend because you don't good morning me, or
Right.
even a boy.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't like what is the weight, right? Oh, I'm
Yeah.
just not feeling that no more. Okay, fine.
But
The
Mm-hmm.
relationship don't have to end,
Right.
yeah.
right?
Right.
But
But
you said it
that's
don't
why the
end at the
communication,
communication, right?
right?
Let me
Right.
tie it all
So
together.
that is something somebody don't have to do either. That's what I mean. And so they can have a
Hold
time
up.
that they ain't feel like talking to you. And they don't
But
even want to
let's
Yeah,
explain it to you because everybody
hold,
again,
I always tell
that's why
somebody
I
that you
said,
are not old understanding. I always say that too. That's nobody is old
no, you're not.
understanding. You know what I'm
and that's
saying?
why I
You're
said, look
not.
at the weight of that. Now, if they were picking me up every day for work, then I got to know why. That's important,
Yeah, but the up
right?
is up to them
But
to
we're
So
give
not
you
we
talking
why or
about
need.
not.
that.
They don't have to give it to you.
So
That's what
hold
I'm
on.
meaning.
Kev,
So
the
hold on.
appreciation is
Let's
there.
tie it all. But
That's never taken away. Okay, we
let's tie it all together. Okay, let's tie it all together because it all actually comes together nicely, right? If you set the expectation, say you get picked up from work every day, right? That person picks you up every day from work, and they just suddenly stop, right? And you communicate with them, and the first thing they say is, "Well, yeah, I used to do it, but now you don't even appreciate it," because that's 9 times out of 10, a lot of the time, what they're gonna say.
Hmm.
Let's tie it all together. Yes, you can have the expectation. People can set that expectation, but don't lose the appreciation for it.
Right.
okay.
That's how we tie it
Listen, let me tell
together.
you something. If you start acting funny with me, this is the type of person I am. If you do something with me for a
Yep.
year or whatever, and you start acting funny with me, and you don't want to give me no explanation, guess what I'm gonna take that is you don't give a damn. The
Yeah.
end.
I
I
That
feel
agree.
you
part.
on that.
I agree.
See,
Yeah.
Yes.
you see
But
how
look
the
at that.
tables
The
turned.
act of
I
even caring
said
don't
let's communicate, and Dad was
yeah,
like,
even
I wanted
yeah.
to keep you forever
Even
until
with
No, but
that,
I'm
now.
saying, no, I'm saying you if you come to them right, if you
No,
come to
I
them and you actually
understand.
try to talk to them about it, right, and they act like, oh, I don't owe you no explanation, and I'm not telling you nothing, then that's my cue to
yeah.
move on.
Yep,
Like,
and I
Right.
mean that wasn't meant right, exactly, and
right,
you can appreciate that they showed their real side after that because it's obvious they didn't
right,
care all that time about you. Because a person
right,
that care, I
Absolutely.
guess you
absolutely,
expect them to explain themselves. But what I'm saying is,
absolutely.
even with that, that got to be appreciated when they do explain themselves
Oh
because they
yeah,
showing that they care.
Yeah, because they
right?
don't have to do it, and it's
Because
a
they
lot
don't
of
have to.
people.
That's my
Right.
That's my whole point. They
Because
don't have to.
right, because that's how my ex best friend, she tried to do me like that when me and her stopped talking. She thought I was gonna be devastated because I didn't get an explanation, but I wasn't, because that relationship was really over 2 years prior. I
Mhm.
just didn't. We just never cut each other off. So
Yep.
when she
Yeah.
stopped talking to me, I didn't expect anything because I
Mhm.
already saw it coming. I just didn't know when it was gonna happen. But I felt like nothing needed to be explained. You know what I'm saying? Everything was already kind of showed. So, in that situation, sometimes things don't have to be. It just depends on the situation.
Yeah, it's case by case.
Yeah, it just depends on the situation.
But I think we're all saying the
Hey,
same thing.
respect. What's the deal, man? You been quiet a little too long. Ain't no way.
Yeah.
I hope you up. You
Randy,
Hey
woke.
y'all,
Randy.
I'm gonna drop
Ain't no
Kev.
way
I'm
you
gonna
sleep
drop some
this.
fairy tale.
You quiet this
All right.
long.
Hi,
Okay.
AJ.
Okay,
Nah,
Yeah, I'll be in the
AJ.
comments. So y'all, I'll be in the comments.
no,
All
my
You
right.
bad.
sound
I
like you
was
need some coffee over there. Ain't no way you quiet that long.
nah, I was watching some house party real quick.
Oh, okay.
Not
Okay.
house party.
Yeah, a lot of stuff wasn't making sense in here, so I just muted her.
Oh my lord.
Yeah. So how
Um,
you feel, man? I like the one you was saying about the expect human to be human basically, or people to be them. That's a very good
no
expectation, I would
facts.
say.
I mean, that's it. I'm like, okay, so, um, like anybody on this app that I've met, right, and who we actually started to have a relationship, kind of friendship outside this app. I have no expectations on them. You know what I mean? I expect you to, who I met you as, I expect you to be that and change and evolve and whatever. And if I change and do shit and you see that and you want to change and do shit, yo, do that. I expect you to be who the fuck you are. I have,
Mhm.
meaning I have no preconceived expectations on you. That is where people F up.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Number who Dazzle is, Dazzle's gonna be who she is. I'm not gonna be like, you know what? I have the expectation that every time I see Dazzle, her attitude needs to be at a 10 because because I met her at a
At
10.
a 10, right?
Right. So now I expect her to be a 10 every single time. No, that's unrealistic.
Right.
That's unrealistic. That's what I'm meaning, right? Exactly. People change. Everything change in life. All of us, we expected to fail sometimes. We expect all that stuff is expected. Now that's called realistic expectation. But I'm gonna put it this way. Okay, in a way, I could say, yeah, you right. People is right about expectation. I'm not never said don't make no expectation. I just said less expectation. So yes, you right that it's expected, but it's depend on what you expecting out of them. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like respect, communication, coming by picking me up, all that stuff. That's where it becomes unrealistic because when people have choices, that's what I'm saying. That's when we set ourselves up fair because a person can got to make a choice to do that. A person even with feelings, you know what I'm saying. You choose your. I don't know if you say you choose your,
So
but you could choose how you handle your feelings. All
right.
right,
So
Hmm.
right. So Nami, so okay. I forgot who in here said something about communication being the expectation, right?
niche.
That
Niche.
is crazy. The reason why I'm very vague, right? When I speak to whoever, like if you ask me a question or however, I'm gonna be vague as hell.
Is that
And
on purpose? I just want to ask that. Is that on purpose?
I I never said that. I said I'm
No,
very vague.
No, I'm not saying that you are. I just wanted to ask a
No,
question. Like, Matt, I'm.
I'm
Oh, okay.
vague. I don't I don't open the door to people in my business, so I'm vague.
Oh,
Even the people I've known for a long time, I'm super vague. So if communication is one of your expectations,
yeah,
whatever,
that would be an extreme pet peeve.
you're gonna get mad at me.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
I could
saying?
see it.
Yeah, you're gonna be super mad
Mm-hmm.
at me, and it's like,
Because
why
I
are you
need
mad
that
at me?
communication, buddy.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Because where are we going? You tell me
right,
you big. I'm
because
asking
it's
you
gonna
like,
be like, no, because it's gonna be like you're gonna get mad at me, but it's like, okay, this is who I am. Like, if you're not willing to be like if it's bothering you so much, or you're not willing to be to ask me about 20 different variations of ways to on explaining this, then you're gonna get mad as shit for no reason, and
I
it
feel
has
like
no.
that's crazy because you're explaining yourself so well right now. So like, like why be so vague?
I'm
Like
a
you're doing
vague.
a great job not being vague right now.
Okay. 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 So let me break it down for you a little bit more. Um, we're not having a personal conversation. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? You're not asking me about my lifestyle, my life, or anything like that. Yeah, I mean, this is the conversation on TikTok. Yeah, I mean,
But
nothing personal is
why
being shared.
engage into a personal relationship when you know that the essence of that relationship could be helped by communication and say, well, this is me. I don't care if I know you for 12 years. I'm not communicating.
No, 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 no. You put that shit in my mouth. I didn't say not communicating. I am vague. Now,
Not communicating properly then.
oh, no, okay. So my cousin said, "Hey, yo, no man," because I always check on her, and she hits me up, "Yo, how are you? How's the love life, etc., etc." Oh, I'm good. Everything's straight. You know what I'm saying? Taking things one day at a time. Boom. That's it. She's like,
I
well,
don't see anything wrong with that.
she's like, well, you didn't say shit. I was like, yes, I said a lot.
She want a whole story, sir.
She
No,
That's
just
I,
didn't.
different. Now
Yeah.
that's
no, I
different.
get
Like
that.
you communicating with your cousin or something. But I'm talking about like in a deep relationship
I'm
where we
not
where
okay.
we
I'm
we
not
gotta
talking about the deep
communicate.
relationship.
All right, understood.
Yeah, we was talking about two totally different things.
All right. Yeah.
I think
I
he
mean,
just talking about
right,
generality, like
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
overall. Yeah.
All right.
Because
Well,
each
that's what
thing
I'm
changed.
saying.
Like you're gonna be probably different with your parents, your
Right.
kids,
Right.
all that stuff changed. But just
I'm the
in a
one that
generality of
says
just socializing,
that
probably just vague
communication
overall.
is important. But if you are a vague person, I'm not going to, or if that's where you're at, that's where you feel you got to be. I'm not going to try to make you be anybody else. The
Right.
expectation is communication. It's not how you communicate. That's why I said I don't see. It's not like you have to say good morning, gorgeous, right?
Mm.
You just have to respect me, right?
Hey,
But
to
That's
some
all I'm
people, that's
saying.
their form of respect. You know what I'm
no,
saying? Everybody got different levels.
but see, that's another tricky thing, right? That's another tricky thing. Um, this whole respect shit, right? I feel like to have an expectation of respect, um,
Mm.
it, I don't want to say stupid, but I'm just gonna say I don't agree with it, right? Because everybody's okay, my level of respect, like how I show respect, is different from how Kev does it than how anybody else does it, right? Me simply cutting you off in a conversation, you can take that as disrespect. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Me speaking to Kev sternly, like to us or to me, it may not be disrespect. That just may be how I talk. But Kev will be like, "Yo, bro, you speak to me like that is mad disrespectful." So everybody has this totally different interpretation of what disrespect means.
Right. You're right about
That's
that.
why communication is important because if I feel like you disrespected me, depending on your position in my life, I need to be able to say that. Now, when
So
you're talking
look,
Yep.
about TikTok, that's a whole new different thing. If you
even with
disrespect
that,
me, I disengage.
because even communication is different from different people too, though. So that's what I mean about that. Because you with that, it seemed like you once you having an expectation that somebody might communicate the same way as you and respect the same way as you. You might as well say that you might as well have somebody that understand the same way as you. All that
I
stuff
didn't
is
say the
like kind
same
of
way, though.
unrealistic.
I say the same way. I said a certain level of communication, and I said respect. Now, we all know the extremes, right? Name calling, just being rude, disrespectful. We know what those are, right?
Some people like it.
Right.
But
I
again,
don't. I don't. I
What's up,
don't.
B? You know
again,
what I'm
And
saying?
if
I'm
I
from a
feel
different
like
space.
being disrespected, I mean, if I feel like I've been disrespected, all I ask is that we can communicate about it. If we can't, it's fine. I will just remove myself. That's in every situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
glad that
but
you guys
go
brought it
ahead.
up.
Fairy
I
haven't
had
talked all this time. She was trying to talk. Go ahead, Fairy.
I'm just waiting like a little schoolgirl with my finger up.
I
And
expected that. So,
yeah, I know you did. So I gave you what you expected.
and I appreciate you for waiting. I'm about to make
Well,
some
here we
too.
go. That is exactly what I wanted to say. If
Uh,
you have expectations, I think your communication should be in expressing your appreciation. Because I think that if you like something very much and you want it to go on, it's your job that in your communication you will tell the other person constantly, as long as you like the behavior, that you appreciate it. Because as soon as you don't do it, the other person will or might feel taken for granted. And as soon as somebody does something to please you and be good to you, and you start taking it for granted and not saying anything about it no more, then why should he go on being like that? Why should he go on using that behavior? Because it doesn't make sense to him anymore, because show you don't communicate your appreciation for it.
Well, that's
Oh
a
my
great
gosh.
point. So when I'm dealing with people who I don't know, like on this app, I will say, I appreciate your point of view, but I disagree. Right? That's communication.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
when I'm talking to my sister, I don't
but you
have to
don't
say
have to
that.
do it. You
Right.
didn't have to do it. That's the
But when I'm
difference. But I'm
talking
not
to my
expecting you to do
sister,
it.
I don't have to say I appreciate what you've communicated, but I don't agree. I'll just say, "Nah, girl, quit playing with me. You know it go like this." You
But
know what
why
I'm
do
saying?
why do
And it's
you feel like
understood
why do you feel like there's a difference? Why do you feel like with your sister you don't?
because of the nature of the relationship. So some things are understood.
That's what you think.
No, I know it. In my personal relationship,
How can you know what the other person feels or thinks?
because number one, I'm attentive, right? So, like Kevin said, some girls, "Bitch, let me tell you what happened." I can tolerate that from some of my friends, but then there are some other people I don't communicate like that with. So you're not going to hear me talking like that. You're not going to hear, that's not going to be our conversation, and it's
like two
understood.
examples to
And
piggyback
that
off of
show that could
Kev
be respectful at one point, and it could be disrespectful.
yeah,
That show right there. You know what I'm saying?
But
was
in
like when Kev
context, that
said
would not be disrespectful to me because we have an understanding.
It
We've
depends
already
on
communicated such.
who. Yeah.
that some people like the name calling and stuff like that. Like two instances, I was dating a YT guy, and throughout the
Mm-mm.
relationship,
Wait,
that
what name come behind that? Like,
Right.
we never, because I don't
Girl,
discriminate.
you done
We
said that with the
never
wrong
ever.
person up here.
Hold
We
on. Hold
never.
on.
I'm
I don't
expecting you to say
discriminate.
something crazy right now.
Listen. That happened once. I don't discriminate. So we had no problems in the relationship ever. Like he seemed to be more into me than I was into him. I was also into him. I mean, dude had like all BLK friends, and he was heavily in the community. Blah blah blah. And Grant, you understand? Like he was in it at the barbecue.
Girl,
He was under the barbecue.
he was like Mark Wahlberg. Girl,
Yeah,
he was a
he
black
was on
man
the
trapped in
side
a
of the
white man
barbecue.
body.
He was a piece of meat on the barbecue grill. He was
Mm,
everything.
mm,
Never
mm.
had any part of problems in reference to the community. So we took a trip together,
Not yet.
and we are, having intercourse, and he yells something out. He is like, "Oh, my little monkey." I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh
Uh-huh.
I
Told you.
immediately
Ooh.
Told you.
See,
Immediately, I got up and I'm just like, yeah, I can't do this. And
Told
so
you.
he's like laughing. And he's like, babe, no. He's like, what do you mean? He's like, literally, I don't mean anything by it. And he's just trying to convince me. He's like, no, no, please. And I'm
what?
just
Mm-hmm.
like, from that day, one thing about
Bet you
me,
ain't
I'm gonna leave.
expect that.
Yeah, right.
I put my clothes on.
right.
I pack. Really? Yeah.
The
I packed
disrespect
my
was
stuff up and
communicated
I left
flawlessly.
immediately.
But the
Like
fact that
immediately.
you but the fact that you said that he was a part of the black community, he know what that
And that's
means.
what I'm saying. I never
Oh
saw it. Like
no.
Kev said, I didn't expect it. So I'm just
Right.
like, huh? So
Mm.
for
How,
him, it's not disrespect. He genuinely thinks he's just playing around. But for me,
I
I'm
don't
like,
think he
nah.
thought
Like
that.
no.
You can't tell
that's not
me
something.
What?
I
Mm-mm.
Yo,
think he thought
okay,
he was gonna
okay.
get away with it, but he
Right.
knew
Yeah,
damn
he
well
really
that it was
thought I was
wrong.
gonna brush
Right.
it
Right,
over
right. I
and
feel
laugh,
like
and
you
But
giving
that's
he
him
knew
way too
damn
much
well that
grace.
that was wrong.
No, you giving
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
him
he knew
way
it
too
was
much
wrong. That's why
grace.
he sat there and laughed. He definitely knew it was wrong. Then it's another instance where I'm dating a
And
BLK
he lied.
guy. I'm also BLK, and he's like, oh, my little legal dolphin slut, because I like dolphins, and at the time I was a
Wow.
paralegal, and so, but I didn't take that as disrespect. I was like, yeah, I was like into it.
Um.
But but and then after that, I don't know. Like at the time, it was fine. Like when Kev says some people into it. So for those two instances, definitely I'm not gonna tolerate the My Little Monkey thing. Cause dude,
Oh
This is,
first
no.
of
Yeah. Oh
all,
no.
first of all, who's a
but
monkey?
but
And your
but
little
hold on,
monkey?
but hold on, but wait, hold on. First off, yo, you empowered that man to say that. You know that,
No,
right?
she didn't. Why you say that?
How?
Because
Okay,
He
that
never
don't just
okay,
showed
come out of
any
okay,
signs.
nowhere.
okay. First of
He
all,
showed
okay,
no
okay,
signs.
hold on, okay, hold on. First
Agree
of
with
all,
that.
okay, hold on. First of all,
No,
I'm stating my opinion, Dazzle. Don't come down my neck. Thank you.
no, no. You
Um,
go ahead.
um. So yeah, you empowered him. You empowered him to go ahead and feel comfortable enough to say that, right? Because you just said he was a part of the black community,
The whole
and
community
I
empowered
mean, and
him.
you
I
probably
I met him in the community.
right. So you accepted him as such. Now, I mean, you accepted the cosplaying role that he was playing. Yeah, I'm saying.
I love that cosplay
Now, I
because
mean,
that's
so
what that was.
I mean, so you made him comfortable in that. Because if he wasn't comfortable in that, because if you was and I'm not trying to downgrade how black you are, whatever, when I say this,
Hmm.
but no, I mean, but if you was like a sister, you know what I'm saying, you would have put him in his
I am a
place.
sister.
Hold on, no, hold up. Now, I mean, you would have put him in his place. I mean, and you would have made him understand exactly where he belongs, and that's not his position. I mean, so if he would have got that, he would have never did that. But you made him comfortable in the position,
Hi,
in the
Chase. Thank
cosplaying
you.
position that he was playing. That's why he did. That's why he said what he said.
So, what was
But
your
see, the thing is, and even
expectation
to
for a
top it about the sister
relationship
part, let
then?
me put an extra cookie on it. I'm Caribbean, so we're more sister
Oh
sister
hell!
than would be than the BLK Americans.
I mean,
I'm both,
I'm
but I
more.
told
No,
them
I'm more
that it was a
disappointed.
no.
I'm more disappointed
But
in
hold
that. For the
on.
simple.
Where,
I'm
what was
disappointed in
your,
myself that happened, but I never saw it coming. Because trust me, if there was an ounce that I smelled, breathe, anything, it would have never happened.
Are you
He's also
Jamaican?
Caribbean.
No, I mean, are you Jamaican?
Oh, why do people always think I'm Jamaican because of my accent?
No. It's
No,
just a question.
I know I'm not Jamaican.
Now what? Now what are you?
I'm Bahamian. I live in the Bahamas.
Oh shit!
so what was your expectation for a boyfriend then?
He came. First of all, I don't discriminate because the way I grew up around like I school with multicultural. Like when I say the school that I went to, like had a bunch of different cultures. My best friend is YT and stuff like that. So I've never looked outside of people to say like I'm just not. I don't just discriminate. Let me just put it that way, you know. And
You
so
should
So, you
in
don't
not.
my
have no
dating life.
expectations.
Am I dating in reference? So when it comes down to cultures, I probably would now due to the fact of what's going on in the world. But let me say this: I was ignorant to because I didn't have any information or knowledge on what was going on because I was sheltered. So I've dated Spanish, I've dated white, BLK, everything that you could think of. Like I hope to have a British boyfriend one day, only for the accent. Um, that might seem shallow, but let me just throw that out there. But he's never shown from the time that I've been watching him and when he came on to me, he's never ever shown any disrespect. But I also think it's probably because his friends who are BLK, they allow him to like joke around and get off like that. So he probably thought it was going to be okay with me, but it wasn't.
Yeah, but
That
that's
makes sense.
exactly what Randy was saying. He got
Yeah.
comfortable
Empowered
in
into doing
using
it.
a
Yeah,
No,
that's
certain
I
what
kind
didn't
it
of
is.
make him
language.
comfortable. He was always
No, he
comfortable.
was already. It sounded like yeah, he
Yeah,
said it already. He was already there.
he
It was
was
set that way.
comfortable around those people
Yeah.
using that
And
kind
that's
of
why I said
language.
my expectations don't change according to what the world is doing, or the community, or the people, or the atmosphere. They are what they are.
It's only right.
But aren't these your standards instead of your, expectations?
Fairy tale. I'm gonna
She
tell
don't
you what
like
I
that
said.
word. She don't
Fairy
like
tale.
some.
My expectation when I interact with people is that they, number one, respect me, and number two, they have a certain level of communication. That's all I expect from everybody on this earth that I come in contact
We
with.
know what she.
Now you can
We know what
call it
she
a
means. We put it that
boundary,
way.
call it a
I'm
We know what
sorry.
standard.
to say,
I
but we
got
know.
confused. I got confused in the word. I was like, well, that's more like your personal
I'm gonna
standard.
give her
But
some days to marinate on it. It's just that ego getting to it. She like, I'm not gonna say it. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? But she's gonna when she marinate on it, she gonna see what I'm talking about. That's
I'm,
just
I'm
the
gonna look
stuff.
up the definitions while y'all talking so I can
Okay,
understand.
cool. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying?
Because
I say
when you
that
say
because
expectation, I'm thinking, what should I get from someone else? Is that correct?
Yeah. No, when you do expect, it's something. It's something that you expect. Though that's with anything.
You
You could do
expect
that
them
with
to
a.
be.
You
I
can
think
It's
expect
like
the car to
the
work. You know what
state
I'm
of
saying? That
their
don't even
state
have to
of
be a
being.
person. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But cars break down. You can put expectations on anything.
Yeah.
Well, why aren't you guys accepting my respect and communication as expectations?
well, because just
But
before
will you?
before just before you said that you have difference, you make a difference in that with your sister, for example. So it's to me it sounds more like it's your standard,
Hmm.
that you have towards outside people, and you have different standards to your close friends or family.
So I'm gonna put it this way. This is why I call it that. Because when you say the words, I expect them, but if they don't, that's where a standard comes. You know what I'm saying? When you say them together and then put if they don't, that's called a standard. It's not even just an expectation alone. You know what I'm saying? When you put that if they don't at the end, that's when it becomes a standard.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look up the words because I'm not sure I follow. So y'all go ahead.
He don't want to give in. That's what it
No,
is. It's alright.
No, I'm
I,
trying to understand because
I love
everybody else
that
says
about
that they
her
This
don't have
though.
what this what Kale
expectations.
telling you, girl.
I
Kale
love that
telling you
she.
you can't
Well,
expect nothing because don't nobody got to do nothing. That's what he. That's
everybody else is
Exactly.
saying, well, then what expectations are you talking about then? If ain't nobody has to be held to no standard, you can't expect nothing, then what you talking about?
You just said it. Ah! He just said it. He said it, didn't even notice.
Well, I'm saying that's your opinion. That's not my opinion.
right.
You
And
said standard
I
though.
agree, but I agree with Niche though because if you are in my life and we have a relate now, everybody my expectations are not going to be the same for everybody. It's just going to depend on what our relationship is.
Here you go.
But
But
I
Yeah,
don't
I'm
and
gonna
expect
have
everything
expectations.
from every job. I have different expectations from
Right.
certain jobs.
Yes.
but
Right.
but
But
that's
I
when
mean,
exactly
something when
it.
something don't meet your expectation, that's when it's called a standard.
that's
That's
too.
all I'm saying.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm gonna look
Otherwise,
at it.
if you want something to meet your expectation, that's an entitlement. You know what I'm saying? Just like it's a thin line between both of them. You know?
Well, I don't even mind you calling it an entitlement at this point. I'm not gonna argue that point with you because again, I feel entitled in my life. So
Oh,
if you want to be my
girl.
friend,
Ooh,
there
And
is an
as
expectation,
you
and
should.
you can call it what you want. I'm not shy about that because I
hey, it's
protect my
cool.
space and my energy and my atmosphere. So if you say, "Oh, you're entitled because you want
Mm-hmm.
people to be a certain way in your space," well
Mm-hmm.
then, hey, I will have to agree with you because
I
people
feel
in
you
my
though
space have to
because
respect me.
I would say that too. I feel the same way about my peace. You know what I'm saying? I'm entitled to my peace, but I'm
Right.
not gonna be entitled that somebody else is going to give me the peace that I want. I'm gonna put it that
respect
way.
it.
So I hold a standard
Yeah.
if they don't keep my peace though. You know what I'm saying? Because they either gonna get knocked out of my life, I'm gonna walk away from it, they gonna get booted, they gonna stop being my friend, you know what I'm saying? That's where the standard come in at. But yes, I am entitled to my peace, of course. You know that I am entitled to my peace. But I'm not entitled for other people's peace. You know what I'm saying?
No,
I can't
you
expect
are
that.
responsible for your peace. I think you're mixing up those words. You're responsible for your peace.
Don't matter, whatever you want to call it. But
All
Well, those
right.
two words are not synonymous. You are responsible for your peace.
Well,
Mm-mm.
I, I sort of feel too that you are entitled to peace, and it's
Yeah,
about your standards
absolutely.
that bring it to you. If you want peace, you put standards, and then the people that are not letting you having it will not be in your life.
Responsible
Expectation.
will be
Hold on.
avoiding things from disrupting it.
Expectation is
Avoiding
strong
people
belief.
that avoided me putting expectations on people that's what would be responsible is right is not me expecting somebody to keep my peace up. That'd be my me
Yeah,
being responsible.
yeah. If you stay in the
Expectation,
situation or
a
not.
strong belief that something will happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that says everything about your strong belief, not about the other person.
No,
Yeah.
it doesn't say mine or yours. It just says a strong belief that something will happen.
Yeah, but who believes?
My boy Conscious
Me.
Kurt in the building. What's the
Yeah.
deal, man?
So it's
Conscious.
about your beliefs
Yes, my belief is
that
that when I
something is
go
going to
into
happen.
Target,
Go to
right,
bed, TT.
people
Go
are
to
going to
bed. I
treat
see
me
you
with
down there.
respect.
Yeah, but your
That's
expectations, so
my
your
belief.
beliefs do not have to match somebody else's.
Okay, so
Yeah.
like at my
We
workplace,
understand that part.
the work culture is toxic, correct? And I'm a type of person where I'm just not dealing with that, especially with me having an HR background. And my boss's expectation is for me to just conform to the toxic culture,
Mm.
and still integrate myself versus dealing with the initial problem. And it's just like, for me, it's really weird. And I'm not going against the grain. I'm willing, like literally, I will be willing to sit off a job if I have to, rather than like seep in that culture when it doesn't even have to be happening. But her expectation is just that, oh, I'm non-confrontational, so I kind of don't know how to deal with it or want to deal with it. So yeah, I'm gonna need you to still integrate. And I'm just like, yeah, yeah,
Mm.
that's your expectation, but I can't meet that,
Oh
and I'm not
wow.
going to.
Why she expect you to do that though?
People,
Mm.
let me tell you something.
Well,
People
that's
are, and
unreasonable. A
exactly,
culture
I'm
at a
the type.
job is a culture, and that's an unreasonable expectation
But when you don't have a
or
proper
standard.
system in place, this is bound to happen. And it happens, and that's why I went down. And
Definitely.
well, now currently I'm back in college for psychology, but in my initial career is human resources, and that's the same reason why I went into it. It's because instead of fixing the problem or allowing it to come to head and deal with it so your company can run properly, people just want to push it under the rug because
Mm-hmm.
it's not beneficial to what they believe in. Oh, well, this person's been here. So what's happening now is the coworker, what I'm having problems with. See, the thing is, they know that she is like horrible, and they everybody has said it. But the thing is, she has seeped her, and I'm a teacher now. She has seeped herself into the parents, where the parents don't
Oh.
know what she is. So they think she's God because she takes like all the children home, and she's willing to do services, but to
Oh.
sit there and be with her on a day-to-day basis, the parents don't know what's going on. They see her for 3 seconds or when she drops the kid off, and
Right.
that's it. So she's one of those people where I'm gonna get attention by doing deeds. So it does
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So now that literally when she feels, and the thing is, I have with people at working, not even just at this particular job, but old women, and I don't like to say it because I'm younger, but old women have majority, I'm not going to say all, majority of old women have a problem when they feel like they don't want to pass either the torch, or
Oh yeah.
yeah, whether they don't want you to learn, or whether or not
Right.
they just want, they're infuriated by you because, and it's just weird. Like the dad's there. She's this newly divorced lady. Like the dad's one of the dads there. Like, I guess he made a comment saying I'm pretty. I didn't hear the comment because I really don't care. You understand? Like I'm not paying attention that much. So
Right.
for you to it tells me what you're thinking. My grandma always teach me this. She said when somebody say something that it's on their mind, she was like, "Oh, clearly you get all the dads." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" So if that's your thing, lady, and you want to get all the dads at the school, you go do that. Like I
What?
don't
She
care
just
about that.
attention seeking. That's all. She just
And
attention.
it's that, and it's due to, and I literally, and I'm like, why do I, as the younger person, have to be the adult to realize that, bro, you're just lonely, and it's sad
Mm-hmm.
to say, and I'm not being rude, but even though you're lonely, don't expect me to sit there and condone that behavior, because I'm not. I'm not gonna sit here and condone that behavior. It's like literally toxic. And then after that, when you're on a panel at a job where majority of your coworkers are literally way older than you, they feel settled in their life because they've spent all of their life taking crap that they didn't want to take, but because it's the expectation of just being a woman or holding your composure, you just don't say anything. You sweep it under the rug and you let it ride. Like, no, it's just weird.
Well,
Yeah,
that's what
that's
I'm
why my
saying.
mom
I'm
worked in
going to
HR for
always
years.
expect from people what I need from people.
Yep.
And when people don't give it, I move around. I
Right,
allow myself to do that.
right.
I'm never going to lower my expectations for anybody. So I
So
looked up the word standard, right? The word standard would apply to my family and friends because it says a level of quality. If I don't know you from a can of paint, I can't have a level of anything. The other definition is an idea or things used to measure what I see as norm. So again, if you're talking about online, if you're talking about strangers, yeah, I can't have a standard for people I don't know.
Did you
So it
look up
would
boundary?
be an expectation. I'm about to look up boundary, but I wanted to give y'all that too. It is an
so
expectation at this point.
Stella, um,
Hmm.
uh, when you meet somebody new, because you said that the communication was very important. When you meet somebody new, do you tell that people what you do? You tell that person what your expectations or standards are before you go any further?
It depends on the relationship. So at the least, right? If I am in Target, and I keep saying this, but it's a good example. If I'm in Target, I'm in there with a bunch of strangers, right? If someone
Hmm.
bumps me, right, and
Hmm.
they say, "Excuse me," then they keep going, no problem. But if they bump me and then they want to have attitude, that's not respect. So
Hmm.
then I would seek communication because that's who I am. If the communication does not work, I'm going to disengage because
Mm-hmm.
bumping me is a minor offense. And before it gets to a capital offense, I'm going to move. But if my sister bumps me, right, in a way that knocks me down because she's mad about something else, I am going to expect her to be respectful. Sis, I'm sorry, I'm just mad about something. But if she does not, then I might say, "Hey, you just almost knocked me over," right? And
Hmm.
if she says, "I don't care, I'm mad about such and such," then we're gonna need to take a break because I can't
She
even
still, hey, look,
communicate with
she still
you.
communicated it though.
And that's why I
She
said we're gonna
did.
take a break, right? We're gonna take a break. Maybe we can revisit it. But if
Yeah.
3 months
Okay.
later you still saying, "I don't care, I was mad," then
Yeah.
we really may need to take a longer break.
Or
You see
she
what I'm
could look you
saying?
in your eyeball and walk away too.
So
Because
then,
then you don't respect me. You're no longer in that feeling of emotion. So
Do you
you still can't admit that you was wrong for
do
bumping me.
you
I ain't had
believe
nothing
that
to do with
somebody
that.
cannot respect you at the moment because their feelings overtook and stuff?
Yep.
Absolutely. That's why I
Yep.
said we may
Most
need a break.
definitely.
But
Mm-hmm.
that's my sister.
Because this
If you
laugh
were
is
my
killing me.
neighbor,
Get crazy.
I may excommunicate you all together because hold on. Your gardener pissed you off, but you almost bumped me going to my car and
Right,
didn't say excuse me. Me and that neighbor, it's definitely going up. I'm listen, whatever we had, right? So it just depends on the relationship.
right.
Okay, boundary, a line that marks the limits of an area.
Yo.
Lord. A limit of a subject or sphere of activity. So boundary in those senses don't really apply. But we know what boundaries are. So, but that's within the confines of a relationship. If I don't have a relationship with you, then how are we going to clearly define some boundaries? So,
Mhm.
I said all of that to say, okay, it is
Yeah,
an expectation.
yeah. It's an expectation. It's our boundaries. Yeah, it's exactly right. That's how you have it. Right,
You
right.
know what,
But you're
Kelly?
not wrong about that part. You know what I'm saying? You're not. You're
Mm-mm,
not at
no.
all.
It's the
You know what I'm saying? But
expectation.
it's only so much you can take, right? So much you can take, right?
Yeah, that's why I removed myself.
Mm-hmm. And then when you remove yourself, you get called weak and scary.
Well, I'm removed, so I don't care.
You care less, right? I'm about to say care less after that.
I
Call
ain't
me what
finna
you
dirty
want.
my hands trying to fight trash. I
Right.
ain't never been one to dirty my hands
Right,
fighting
I feel you
trash.
on that. Call me what you want. You gonna be just looking at buns on the way out. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Not buns.
So
Yeah, right.
actually,
Like pause, pause, pause,
Enjoy the
pause.
view.
so
Nah,
so
pause. I
so,
changed that.
actually, still, the communication serves you to maybe adjust your expectations.
No, the communication it helps them adjust their attitude.
Oh,
My expectations are
Do
not
you expect them
unreasonable.
to adjust their
Have
attitude?
Well,
respect, and if
but
you can't have respect for whatever reason, at least we can I only require two things from people on this earth: respect and communication.
And when
I
is they
just don't
gonna?
feel like that's not realistic.
That's
yeah,
well,
but to me,
okay.
I meant it in a way as so when something happens and you communicate about it, you for yourself can figure in your head if you think it's very respectless or without respect, or if it's because of a certain situation that the person did it by accident. So you
Right, the
can, yeah,
communication is so that I
yeah,
can gauge.
yeah. So
But
you
if the
can,
communication part don't go well, depending on who you are, this is probably gonna be the end. That's
yeah,
mm-hmm.
then it's
that's
probably
all I'm
gonna
saying.
be, yeah, that's
Yeah,
probably
That's
just gonna say
that's
a
your
lot about
limit
that
right
person.
there, right?
Yeah.
we can
Okay,
go
I
in
get.
peace
That's what you
Yeah,
could tolerate, right?
because I
yeah,
always want to go in peace. I don't want to go after a fight.
Right. Me
It's
too.
not
That's how I am.
necessary. I
Yeah.
don't want to cuss at people. If
yeah.
you bring me to that point, we gotta take a break or we gotta end it. I don't care who you are. My mama, when
Mm-hmm.
she was here, I would spend 3 good days before we start arguing. So I always knew after 3 days, I
Time
gotta
to
be
take a
somewhere
break.
else.
Right.
Right.
Mm. There's
So
only so
That's a
much we
smart
can take,
strategy.
right? Only so much we can take, you know.
yeah.
Yep.
We gotta set something to
If
take. You
I
know what I'm
stay longer
saying?
than those 3 days, then that's unrealistic because every
Right.
time it's a 3 day max. And then I gotta be accountable for staying around,
Yeah, yeah.
for trying to
You,
press the
you
limits.
you gotta set a bar. I'm gonna say a bar. You know what I'm saying? It's only so much
No,
we
and
can
that's,
take.
I think, Stella, that's a form of respect too, because you don't expect the other person, to give
To
you
make the
more than
adjustment.
they can.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I'm going to make the adjustment that I need for me, and I need you to do the same
Yeah.
I
in my
want
life. That's all I'm saying. If you're going to be in my life, I need you to do the
you
same. Do
want that
what's best
need.
for you. Remember, that's why I said I don't have trust issues. Remember, we had that conversation because I allow people to do what's best for them. So,
Hmm.
breaking a vow to me is not disrespect. So, the relationship can go on, right? But you just got to communicate it, right? I know I call you every day at 5, but I ain't gonna be able to call you today. That's petty.
Right.
But
And that
that's just an
right.
example. That's just an
Mm-hmm.
example, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just
But
communicate about it.
we gotta be
Things
realistic. That it
change.
don't happen all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because a
or
lot of
the other,
people
yeah,
don't know how
or
to communicate. They don't know how to say. They be scared, child. I don't know why, but a lot of people
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
And
Because
and you
everybody
got a
don't
great
know how
point.
to do it with it,
That's
especially
why
right.
depend on the
everybody
situation. It depend on
y'all
that too.
heard this
So,
y'all heard the statement everybody can't go.
Yeah, that's true.
Everybody ain't gonna make
Yep,
it to Tuesday.
that's true.
I'm trying to
hello.
tell you.
But then
Mm-hmm.
there is the thing that not everybody communicates the same way.
Yep.
Exactly. Or it depend on what is they communicating about. They don't know how to communicate that scenario either. It's like everything changed. Like people change, situation change, life change, all that stuff. So
Not
just to
knowing
have this
how to
expectation
communicate
of what's possible it can change is
is
what
your
makes it
problem.
unrealistic.
Well, there is a big difference in communication between men and women a lot of the times.
Absolutely.
So that's a
Absolutely.
tricky thing.
Even that's an
Absolutely.
expectation because that can change as we can see in this world because sometimes it be the opposite way. But I feel you that like in generality, yeah. But
But you know
And that's
what
what I'm about to
saves
say when
that?
we say that I expect a man to be a man, I expect a woman, you know what I'm saying? But even that, it shows that even that can change. So that's why I said we even hurt ourselves with that type of expectation, you
No, no,
know.
no. Because you know what saves that? Respect. Even if a man doesn't know how to properly communicate with me, if he respects me, he can stick around because we're going to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But they, yeah, that, but yeah. But
Yeah, because
Even if he
everybody,
maybe
respects,
but
if
you
he
not,
don't know how to
nobody can
respect
is
me,
don't have to do it though. That's what I'm saying.
if
When you got a choice to do it or not, you, because like I said, even with life is like, shoot, you not promised. None of that stuff is promised either. Like you not promised that somebody gonna respect you. You not promised that somebody gonna communicate. You not promised that people not gonna make a mistake or something like that. Like all that stuff is just that's just that's life. That's just
so to
life.
that same token though, Kev, if I was talking to you on the phone and every other word was, man, I bumped into this bitch today and she da 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 da. Or my cousin, she got this dude she messing with, and I keep telling that bitch to leave that nigga alone. I don't want to hear that,
Right.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
So
Mm-hmm.
if I can say to you, right, please don't use those words. Let's try to use some other less aggressive words. Talk about your cousin and talking about, because in my mind, all women are bitches to you. Now
Right.
that may not be true, but that is your vernacular,
Mm-hmm.
right?
yeah.
And you use this language because it's the way your family talk.
Right.
If you
It's
can
a
make that
habit.
adjustment, then we can still talk.
Yeah, but do you expect them to make that adjustment the way you want them to
If she
expect to do
expect
it?
them to do it, if they
If
want to
they
be around
want to,
her.
that's the point.
Yeah,
So
but
even
what I'm
when, this
saying
is
is,
the
okay, I'm put it
thing,
this
listen,
way: do
Kev,
you
even when
like
the
unrealistic
respect,
part is? Hold up, that's what I'm saying. Real quick, just real quick. I'm just saying the unrealistic part is to expect them to instantly change because you want them to change at that time or something like that's like
why wouldn't he? He want to talk to me right now,
yeah,
right?
he is, but what I'm saying, if he's been living that type of life, right?
Mhm.
You can't expect him to instantly make that. He could do it at that moment, but he's highly possible of slipping up the next time because that's
So
a
that's what I
habit
was
he has, and
saying.
that's something he would have to break out of.
You have to have one of the two, right? I say even if the respect is not there, because I don't see that respectful, right? But
Yeah,
that's the norm for him. But if we could communicate about it,
yeah,
right? And he could recognize, okay, you don't like that. My bad. I will try to
try
not talk like
right,
that, right? So the
right,
next time we talk, he may slip up. But see, we have an
exactly,
understanding, right? We have an
right,
understanding. And I don't like that. I'm not going to
right.
say,
But
oh, no, you did it again. Get off my phone. I'm not going to
even
do
with that,
that.
you should understand before you even make the expectation that they are bound to slip up. Right? They don't have
But
to
then how,
communicate that though.
and I get, you missed the point. I didn't say he has to say, oh, my bad, I said it again. But he probably will because we had the conversation.
Yeah.
But I don't
That
expect
you
him
said it
to
that
say that.
you said it something right there. The fact you had to communicate it that you said that word that you don't want to say. I'm gonna say set a bar. You set that bar and let them know that I don't like you talking like that. You know what I'm saying? I know you used to doing it, but don't do that around me. That's something you set to in order for them to get with your life. You know what I'm saying? But
I agree
Yeah.
to
expecting
that. But
them to do
Am
it,
I?
that's a
all
different.
I'm saying is this: if he slips up again, it doesn't mean the relationship is over.
Yeah, I
Because
feel
I
you though.
know
But
that something, I'm reasonable. I know that bad habits are hard to break, or any habit, good or bad,
yeah,
they're hard to break.
exactly.
And
But
even
there's
though
only
he
so
didn't
much you
see
can
it as
take.
bad, but he valued my opinion. He respected me, right? So initially, maybe a person don't feel respected if you keep throwing around that word. But you did respect me when we communicated about it because now you are aware that I don't like it. So
Right.
now
Right.
the respect comes into play,
Right.
right? I
Yeah, I
respect
feel
you
you.
enough to watch my mouth, even if I'm not
Mm-hmm.
perfect
Yeah,
at it all the time,
yeah.
right? And then eventually he will get good at using, better words to describe women. All as
But
well.
but
And I
that's
feel
if
If
like
you
we
as long as
together
it's
or not,
reasonable, if it's a
I
reasonable request, then if the person
yeah,
care and they want to be in your
exactly.
life, they're gonna do it.
exactly. And
And that.
even that, you talking about a person caring, even caring, that is not even an expectation either. Because that can vary. Somebody will have to choose to care.
Right.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
yeah, that's
Then you don't know
yeah.
what they care about you for or what they're trying to get to. You don't know if they're trying to, just put this act on to get what they want and go back to themselves. Like it's like even with that,
Mm-hmm.
it's just like people, we don't know people that much to say that we got this type of expectation for them to do anything. Like I said, and so if they do it, that will be, that'll be up to them. You know what I'm saying? That'll be up to them to meet your standard,
It's
but
always
they
up
don't
to them.
have to do it.
I
No,
Right.
they
never take
don't.
anybody's choice away.
But then I think
No,
that's
but
what
you
she
could no,
means.
you could set your standard though. I mean, it's only so much us. I mean, if I said something, there's only so much I can't expect somebody to bring, keep my peace, but I do, but I can't set my boundary. Like I don't like people talking like this or something like that, right? But either they gonna either be able to get with it, and if they can't, because there's only so much I can take, then otherwise I'm gonna have to move away from it because it's too much I can handle. Because that's a standard that I put down for myself. Like, no, it's only so much. I mean, so much you could do to continue to break my peace. You know what I'm saying? Something like that.
We saying the same thing, Kev.
Yeah,
I
you
don't know
are.
why you keep
Yeah.
arguing with me.
Well, actually, it's
You
it's
can
all
just go
I'm
on
linked.
not
and
arguing.
adapt
I'm
my
just putting it
stand.
in a different way. I'm not arguing
Go
about
on
Yeah,
and
in
nothing.
adapt
different
my
words.
standard and live a better life.
And it's all linked together. Actually, when we talk about it, we feel that it's all linked together. You need it all. It's not. You cannot
Yeah,
just have one without the other.
exactly.
And
I feel
and
like
I
that's
think
a great starting point.
I think
Respect and communication.
um, I lost my train.
Huh?
I wanted to say something, but I lost it.
Oh, sorry.
Everybody expect that out of everybody though, but everybody do though.
Oh,
But
I
that's our
remembered.
standard. That's a standard we put amongst ourselves though. So you know what I'm saying, if we don't get it, then we not that's not fitting with us. That's what we mean about everybody ain't for everybody. Because we can have this expectation of anybody, but it's not, it don't mean it's gonna be guaranteed to work or something like
No,
that. But that's
but
something we
this
put within ourselves. That's a expectation we put ourselves, or a boundary set for ourselves for other people to do. But everybody else is not entitled to doing it, even if we want to say it.
no, but that she didn't say that. She said that
No, I was just
if it's
saying
not
that. I
yeah,
never said she
yeah,
said it. I'm just saying that
yeah.
out. I'm just saying that.
She said that when it's not happening, then she will adjust. She will go the other way, or
Yeah,
she will let
Yeah.
go. And I think that's the whole thing because I
that's what
have an
I'm saying. And that
experience.
expectation is a boundary. That's what I'm just trying to get back to.
Yeah,
That's all I'm saying.
yeah, because I have an experience in which this was a case in which I didn't appreciate the way the other person was talking, and when I communicated about it, I got back, "Hey, but that's just the way I am, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be changed. Why do
Mm.
you want to change me? I am as I am. Why don't you take me
Yeah.
as I am?" So that's tricky because
Not for me.
that yeah, because that way I have to tell him that no, I cannot. This is my boundary. You
Now I'm
you
not gonna
cannot
lie.
cross this.
Some people do that. They use that as an excuse. I'm not gonna lie. They'll say, "Well, this is just who I am." But yeah, this is who you are. But if you're doing something jacked up, then that still don't make it right.
It's not even an
Yeah. That's
excuse.
who they
It's a
choose to
downright
be.
lie.
That's
Right.
who they choose to
Yeah,
be.
it is an excuse
It's not
because
an excuse. It's a
Hey, but
lie.
look, that excuse is for them at the end of the day, and that excuse, I got a boundary, so for that excuse, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
allowing that. So you know what I'm saying, you
Mm-hmm.
It's
gonna get with the
not who you
program or
are.
not, because that's the boundary I set.
Listen, it's not who you are. It's what you do. And if you
yeah,
can't
it's your
separate who you
behavior.
are and what you do, you cannot grow.
Yeah.
So I don't even argue with those people. That's the easy one for me. Oh,
Exactly,
okay.
right.
Thank
I'm
you.
not
Have a
even putting
nice
that in my
day.
life because I set my boundary. Like,
Have
okay,
a
this
great
who you
day.
is, then it is what it is. I
I'm
would
Mm-hmm.
have to
I'm I'm
care
not
enough to
interested in
either.
changing anyone. Have a great
Yep,
day.
Right.
exactly.
But you are a very strong and independent woman, Stella. There's a lot of women that would put up with it because they don't want to leave. They don't want to lose that
You right
person,
about
or
that.
Right.
You right.
so they're gonna hang in and accept that behavior because they don't want to lose the person.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong. I used to be there too. That's why I said
Yeah.
A
that's the
lot of
Me
easy
us. A
one
too.
for
lot of
me.
us.
Yeah, me
A
too.
lot of
Yeah.
us.
Yep.
So that's tricky. That's what I meant. But it's tricky because the other person puts you in a position in which you have to make a choice that is for some women not very easy to make.
Yeah, I still say it's not tricky.
To you, it's
You
not
It's
tricky.
just a
you are making
decision.
a
Like
choice.
you have to make right.
Of
It's just a
course, of
So
decision.
course.
live the life that you want to live. I wish
Mm.
you the best with what you have. You
And
know,
keep being you, boo boo.
see you around. You know, that's the easiest one. The tricky ones for me, fairy tale, is when people say, "Oh, okay, no, I feel you. Okay, no problem," but then they don't make the changes. right?
Mm.
And they continue to make excuses, and they continue. Well, listen, I already
Right.
told you what my bad, so I have to have this conversation with you over and over and
Mm-mm.
over. No,
Mm-hmm.
we're not doing that
Right.
Yeah.
That's
because
that
Yeah,
here's
action
the
because
Yeah,
speak
then
thing:
you
louder
can
than
start
words.
that's the
testing
other
somebody.
kind of person.
for whatever reason that life has brought us together, right? I want to be able to get to that. I can't get to that without respect and communication. That's why those are the only two that's required. Think about it.
Mm. Yeah.
Everybody need that though. Everybody need that though.
Mm.
That's
We
how you
do.
can
In
understand it
order to
with one
communicate with
another.
other people, we're going to need respect and communication.
Yeah, but
Mm.
Outside of
yeah,
that,
and that's
there's
what I'm about to
nothing
say.
that we can do together.
Yeah,
Nothing.
Mm.
yeah. And that's our boundary we set for ourselves. You know,
That's why I don't understand how women have babies by dudes that disrespect them. Like
don't
openly,
hurt him.
like call
Don't
them
hurt
by
him
their
like that.
name.
Don't jump this
You
room
know
to
what I'm saying?
500.
No,
Like
yeah, I wanted to say, don't call me
like
names.
when
Gonna
you
jump that
listen
room
to
to
the way
500. That
some people talk
you
to
about
each
to.
other,
I'm ready for the talk.
I can't even get excited with you. You know
Mm-hmm.
I
what I'm
don't,
saying? Like, how do you get in the bed with this person talking
I
to you
don't
like
think
that?
they want the
But hey,
babies.
look, we gotta
I,
we gotta think about it this way. We do know, we know because, like I said,
Mm-hmm.
we either seen it or we've been around it or we've been that person before. So
Right.
we can still we gotta be able to at least do a
Love
little
will
right.
make you
We
do
know why
some
they do it.
crazy things.
Yeah, it'll
Shit.
make
No,
oh,
them.
girl, that's way too
amen.
much imagination for me. No, ma'am. Nope. Nope.
But still, I don't think they want a baby. The babies. I think they use the babies to
To
keep
keep
a
the man.
hold. Yeah, to keep a
Mm-hmm.
hold of the
Yep,
man.
To keep
they
ties.
don't
Why
know.
do I want
Yeah,
to keep somebody who called me out of my name?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's
well,
you know what I'm saying.
the,
People was young, man. I'm trying to tell you, people was young or
love
still young
makes
minded.
people
So
stupid.
Yeah, young
No,
minded
it's
they
women.
can't. Well, I don't like
Well,
to say that, man. I
I'm
don't
not
like to
calling
say
you
that.
stupid. I'm just saying, like, logically, that makes
It
no,
don't, but
like, I'm not
everybody don't
even
have
gonna
the
lie
that's
same
to you.
mentality.
But
Look,
they
it
ain't
took
running
us
off
Your
logic.
presence.
Those people are running off emotions. They not.
emotion, right? And a lot of us was it
What
did that.
kind of
That's why I said
emotion are
we
you
can't
feeling,
play it like we
Dazzle?
never did it before.
okay. Okay, so
Dazzle, what kind of
I can.
emotion are you feeling when a dude walk up to you and call you all kind of bees and tell you gonna bend over for him when he asks you to bend over for him?
Okay,
What
let me
kind
Look,
of
I ain't
explain
feelings?
never
that.
experienced it,
What
but
kind of
I've seen
emotions?
it before, so I can
L-
understand it. I
Hold on.
understand.
Stella,
What kind of
l-
emotions?
let me explain that.
Lust, it could be
Some
lust, it could be
no,
greed, it could be
no,
something that's blocking them from seeing the disrespect and that's covering that up. You know what I'm saying?
no,
I fully understand it. I just don't I never lived it, but I can understand what is they going through.
I
no. It
mean,
might
there's
But
be
definitely
something.
some trauma there. I'm not acting like
Yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
don't know
Yeah,
that
Okay.
that's what I
there's
was gonna
Thank
say.
you.
trauma
Some
I
there.
wanted
trauma
to. I
bond. A
wanted to
lot of
go
people be
there
trauma bonded to people.
because if you were raised in a hostile situation,
hmm
where there was a lot of swearing and beating
disrespect,
and stuff like that. That is what you grew up with. So that is to you the
normal.
norm. That is what
Yeah,
is
okay, that was a
feels.
good
That
enough
is
one.
what
That was
feels
another good one.
safe. That is how you
Mhm.
think
No, no,
it's
no.
supposed to
No, we're
be.
not feeling safe. That's a lie. Ain't no
No,
safety at
no,
all.
I don't
No, to
mean
them, in their
no.
mind, look, in
Norm,
their mind,
I
Hear
can
me
they do
out.
chew
feel that way.
on. Listen,
Hear
I
me
can
out.
chew on the norm. The
No,
norm, okay, okay,
no. Hear me out.
but
Hear me out.
nothing
It's
about
not
that
lit.
breeds safety.
No,
No,
to them it's safe. To
Stella,
them
hear
it's
me
safe.
out.
Oh no, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-mm.
It's not literally safe. It feels as you're sort of how do I
Home,
say
Familiar.
that in the right, as a
home.
sort of, yeah,
It's
as
familiar.
that is from, yeah, familiar
Yeah,
might be the word.
familiar is a good
It is
word.
what you know, and it's you somehow feel comfortable in that because you grew
Yep.
up with it. So if you go in a future relationship and you get the same thing, it somehow feels comfortable. It's what you know, it's what you are used to. So if
Yep.
a
Okay,
man
I'll
would be
stop at used to
respectful.
and norm because ain't nothing about that comfortable.
Well, I
Mm-mm.
am
No,
I
they do
have
get comfortable though. Like that's
I,
just like some people that be comfortable eating the way that they know it's not right, and we get big off of it. We keep on eating and stuff, but it's just if it's comfortable, it makes us comfortable.
yeah.
It becomes normal in their life, but
And
it
the
ain't right.
opposite.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't healthy. We eat on it. That's what I'm saying. All that stuff I can understand it on both ways. You know what I'm saying? We can't
I'm
say
glad
that
you
you
can.
can't tell how another person feels.
And the opposite, Stella, is uncomfortable. Having a man that respects you and gives you love without working for it, and
I
just
do understand that being uncomfortable. Yeah.
so so maybe they stick to these bad relationships because that's their comfort zone. That's
That's their
that's
comfort zone.
that's how they know how to be and how to, handle it.
Hmm.
Some people be some people, I'm put it this way, some people get damaged and don't understand why they're getting damaged, or they don't realize they're in a situation. They don't realize they're in a situation that they don't supposed to be in, so they don't see why they stressing about something because they blinded because of something else that they covering it up with. That's just like
Well,
a lot of
Kev,
people. Like, we don't realize we're in a toxic relationship sometimes, or we, what I'm saying, all
you
that stuff.
said
Like, even with
that
that,
they need to
they
be
miss.
appreciative.
Huh?
You said they should be appreciative. At least what? What's to
You
be
said
appreciative in
you
that
said that should be
situation?
appreciative. No, I think
Yeah, what's to be
surviving.
appreciative?
Yeah, surviving that situation, it won't be appreciative at the moment, but it'd be appreciative after surviving that moment, or making it through that moment. Yeah, because
Some
it
of them
taught you
don't
something
survive.
about it taught you something in your life
Some
about it.
of
Like
them
I
don't
said, good.
survive. True, true. But I think I think maybe they learn bit by bit, especially if they have people around them that keep on telling them, you're worth more than this. This is not what you need, and
Yeah.
get help. And but they need people around them to get out of that rhythm, out of that
That's just
comfort
like,
zone.
oh, I got another example. That's just like me getting fired from a job, and then I end up finding a better job or something like that. I do
But here's the
appreciate that
thing:
moment because I wouldn't have
with
been at this better job if that didn't happen. You know what I'm saying?
with that
So that's
being
why I say I
said,
appreciate the good and the bad.
even with that situation, you're not gonna keep too many friends if your boyfriend or your dude talk to you like that.
Oh, you just saying that?
Well,
Oh,
now I
no, they
can
got
say
some
that my
toxic friends out there
expectation
that's
Reggie,
would
joining
be
it. You can get some
my
people.
expectation would be that
mm-mm.
if I have true friends that know about my situation, that they would hang around just to make sure that, maybe on a distance, maybe they would love you on a distance, but they would keep an eye on you and, keep on trying to make you see that this is not a good thing.
Yeah, they got friends that hang with you for the wrong reasons, and that's what
Yep.
you know what I'm saying. But when you start
Those are
trying to
gonna
be
be the
right, that's when they
ones.
separate.
Those are gonna be the ones that don't hang around in that situation because
Yep.
there's a mutual interest there,
Yeah.
whatever it
Or
is.
they just love the drama.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a drama-based friendships you have
Yeah.
until you start being a bigger person. That's when you lose them because you start being better, and they looking at you like you lame now, and that's when you lose them. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people have friends for the wrong reasons or the right
Right.
reasons. That's what it be.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Well, it is a slippery slope, and that's why I protect my
It is.
peace. Now y'all see why I'm so non non tolerant.
Which is
You gotta
your
be.
good right. So
The
I
older you
totally
get, you gotta
understand
be.
it.
The more you're
What you
aware of
say?
life and all that stuff, the more you learn from mistakes. You gotta be more tolerant. That's the way you better yourself. But a lot of that stuff
Less
we already
tolerant.
went through, and it's
Are you
just
saying
about
less tolerant or
understanding.
more tolerant?
Huh?
Did you say more tolerant or less tolerant?
I said you get you wait, damn, I'm saying it wrong.
I
You
said I'm less
tolerant. You less
tolerant.
tolerant. Yeah, you less tolerant. My bad. I think I said it
Okay.
backwards. Yeah, you less tolerant of certain situations.
Yeah, we agree. Because if I'm not gonna put myself in that situation, then
Yeah, because it's all
girlfriend,
about learning. It's about learning
call
from
me
your
when it's an
past and
emergency,
other
so
people.
I can get the people to help you. Because I'm not finna be running to and from your house every time he go upside your head.
Right.
Mm-mm.
Happened to me before. I put myself in a situation. I learned from that. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that no more.
Right.
I set a
Mm-mm.
standard after that. Like, nope. Some stuff you might have to experience to know you gotta learn from it and not be around it no more. So that's why I say I appreciate the good and the bad. You know what I'm saying? Because some stuff I gotta learn in a different way.
Yeah, if you can make it
There you
out,
go.
that's why
Yeah.
If you can
I
make it
cut it
out,
up
yep,
front, so I don't ever have a problem making it out. So I
yep,
can appreciate something. If not,
yep.
I'll appreciate something else down the line, like my
Yeah,
peace.
Mm.
exactly. I
And
love it.
here's the standards we are. So by learning, we change our standards and we, adjust what we accept or not accept.
Right,
Mm.
right. Gotta know what that is. Gotta know what it is.
Mm, mm. Guys, I have to get going. I have to open my store in an hour. So I wish you all a very
I
pleasant
know. Good
night.
morning. It's
This was a
hanging out with
very
us.
nice topic. I loved it.
Oh yes. Oh
Yeah, we had a
yes.
good time. Said he got
Yeah.
something juicy. Said Kev said he
Juicy.
got something juicy tomorrow.
Oh, this is one of my first ones though. I
Can't
wondered. I
wait.
thought about this
Can't
one
wait to
today.
see what he comes up with.
Hmm.
I want to turn on my camera so everybody can see I'm not bald
Ooh,
Bald
Ooh,
headed. What do
what
you
you
say?
say?
do it then, sis. Let's
What did you
go.
Wait a
do?
Who
minute.
thought you
Yeah,
was
because you
bald
know what they
headed?
say about. No,
Ooh,
I'm just teasing because you know how they be talking about the girl on here, the girls that wear weaves, and you know, we be bald headed and we ain't
go
got no
ahead.
edges.
Go ahead and
We
show them
didn't
Turn it
expect
on
some.
that.
then, sis.
Hold
We
on,
would
I'm about to
never
turn
say
it on.
that.
Look,
Not you. I'm
now
saying
she
there's a
got
lot
us
of people on here that does. Hey, six four.
all invested.
Okay, guys, have a lovely night. Talk to you
You
All
soon.
right,
You
too. I
too.
see you later,
all
Bessie.
Bye.
Have a good
right, for
night.
sure. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
I
I
gotta turn
expect
my
you to
camera
have a
on
nice
real
day.
quick so y'all can see.
Your expectations.
It's gonna be on for a hot second now. It ain't gonna be on long now.
Uh-oh. We don't want to miss it.
It ain't gonna be on long.
Let me get my
Let's
camera
go ahead
together.
and hold. Let's get it now. That shit done got us now. We got expecting. Got us expecting.
Y'all might be the only ones that ever see this on this app.
I expect you to get some sleep. Oh yes, I will, fairy tale. And I appreciate you for saying that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna appreciate that sleep when I get it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, now that would be a good expectation. You know what I'm saying? I expect people to fall asleep, and you know what I'm saying. And,
Well, I'm
'cause that's
trying to.
normal.
I
People
just want
gonna
to
fall
make
asleep.
sure
Ain't
I
no
can.
way around that.
Fall asleep
But
on your live?
some people go to sleep permanently. So I don't know how to put this. Is that a win-win? I don't know how to put that though. I don't
Lord, Kev.
I just don't think this do me no justice, but
Okay,
Ooh,
sis.
she
All
got the fro.
it's
Okay.
right.
real big. That's why I said the camera don't do it no justice. So now y'all can tell everybody I ain't bald headed, okay? Thank you.
I don't know who you thought you was bald headed, girl.
I know, I'm just teasing, but you know these folks on here crazy.
Let me show you something real quick.
Hmm
Hey,
Right, you got to post it
he
on
said
your
they
I'm
didn't
page.
so
expect
proud.
that, huh?
I'm listen. I had those braids up for 3 months, so
Really?
Mm.
my hair, yeah, it grew like 4 inches.
Oh,
It
that's
grew a
dope.
lot. Hmm
That's dope.
See, they
Yep.
ain't expect it. Now they gonna appreciate it.
Yep,
Right?
and it's so thick. I love it. But I
That's what
should
she
have
said.
I was supposed to have let the girl out here that does my natural hair, but I waited too long. I waited till the last minute to take my braids down. I was supposed to been had took them down, but I was gonna let her do my natural. But this time after I get my braids taken down, I will though. But I clipped my own. I did clip my ends just a little bit.
That's good. That's what's gonna help it to grow
Yeah, niche, because you got
and
beautiful
flourish.
hair. What do you use in your hair?
Oh yeah, right. Turn your camera on too
Yeah,
now.
no,
Huh?
your hair is beautiful.
Don't be laughing. Don't be laughing.
I make an oil. That's the only thing I use constantly in my hair. I use
What do
anybody
you wash
shampoo,
your hair with? What products?
anybody conditioner. It's
Really?
all about the oil.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
I
And the
use
protective style.
what is it called? Cause it's supposed to be no what is it called? This the only thing I use now because it doesn't have what is it called? Design essentials. That's what I use. I use all their products in my hair, like they shampoo and they conditioner. They high, but it's really good. It's supposed to be like what did they say? It's one ingredient that they said that we not supposed to. It's one of the main ingredients. I can't think of the name of it now. They were saying you have to be careful, because it'll actually strip your hair.
Yeah, yeah. There's a few of them, but yeah. When you can find a good one, it's worth holding on to. I'm one of the laziest people in the world when it comes to hair. So I created an oil that, because me and my kids got at least four different hair textures. I had to create an oil that was gonna work for all of us because I was so busy, and it has. So I'm happy about that. Um, I really don't fool with hair much, so I try to keep it healthy and curly so that I don't have to be worried about it.
Right. Yeah, your hair texture is beautiful though. It's really now my hair does
Thank
curl
you.
up
I
like
appreciate
it
it.
when it's wet. It's
I'm
red like when
trying
it's
to
not
Let me
find.
see
blowed
that.
out. It does have like a little curl pattern to it. But my hair nappy,
Oh,
girl. I got some nappy hair, but it's thick though. It's really really thick, but it's nappy.
so my hair looks thick. I'm gonna show you what I got going on here.
Yeah, cause your
My
hair does look thick when you
It
have
looks
it.
very thick. It feels thick, but I straightened it. I straightened it with this.
Oh, you look so cute.
Hello.
Bye,
She got
Felicia.
the
Look,
You look
do
so
it.
but
She
look
go
how
right.
look
That
at
got the
it.
Cleos in.
No, it's just single braids. But I
Oh,
had to
okay.
do something with it because I gotta cut my ends.
cute. Right. Yeah. I did
Um,
mine just a little
so
bit.
it's
I ain't want to
long
do
and it
too
appears
much.
thick. But look,
Okay, that's
this
what
is
you
what I
straightened it
straightened
with.
my hair with
Okay,
tonight.
yeah, cause I think I seen you ordered it off TV.
I didn't. My friend gave it to me.
Set
She
it
just had
off,
it.
right?
Somebody
They
said
got
set
it
it
from
off.
Sally. Did she?
She
Did she
had
say
it.
which?
I don't know, but probably a hair store. But I know they got them on
Mm-hmm.
like Amazon and stuff. But
Podcast,
I
your
was looking
turn
for
now.
a good. I
Set
was
it
looking
off.
for a good blow dryer, but no. This
I had a
actually
send under.
nearly flat irons it.
I need to buy me another
So
one. I
yeah.
had bought one from the beauty supply store. A sit under hair dryer. It was only like $20. And I threw it away. I shouldn't have never threw it. Wasn't nothing wrong with it. It just moving and just not wanting to like deal with a whole. And but I never hardly used it either though. Like I had it for years and I never really used it. But I need to get another one though, because when I like do my hot oil treatments and stuff, I can sit under there and do nothing
Mhm.
wrong. But your hair is beautiful though. It's really pretty.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Hmm
People would never know how
Podcast, your turn now.
it would.
Wake up. Wake up. Now show your long hair. You done fell asleep in
He
the live.
said,
I told you put a nice pillow on here and you all good.
yeah,
Yeah, Kev, your turn.
right.
I
Cause he
had my
sure
turn
turned
all
that
day.
camera off.
I had my turn all day.
You had your turn all day.
All day. What's the deal,
Yeah,
CG in the
Kev, you
building?
trying to let your hair curl up a little bit. I see you just getting your edge ups and stuff.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I be letting the naps come out now.
Mm-hmm. It's cute though.
It must be tough being a dude, cause
Right.
y'all just
Wait, where my
you wake
legs
up
at?
in
I
the
put my
morning
legs
and
on.
that's you.
Right.
Oh, Reese talking
Put
about the
my
pretty
legs down
legs.
before she did. My junk ain't come out. Oh, there go my legs right there. There you go. I try to beat her to the legs. Man,
You know, Reese gonna talk about the legs.
yeah, I forgot you part of it too. You seen them too. Shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Ah,
Sexy legs, boy. I tell you,
supposed
I
to
got in the
tell
Mm-mm.
you,
competition.
man.
You talk
Them a
about
secret.
talk
Nobody
about
ain't supposed.
Kev.
All because my dang old camera flipped out my hand, man. Now I got my skinny boys all out.
Well, you know what? I appreciate that you had pants on. How about that?
I appreciate I got my own pants on, right?
Because
I ain't
somebody
trying
told
to, it
me
was
all I had to
ashy
do was
too.
put on clothes from the top to go live. I was like, no, because I be getting up in the middle of live and I
Right.
will
That
forget.
right. You might
I
forget.
gave Reese all the ammo. I'm so sick, man. Man.
Yeah, they said they was gray.
All right.
Yeah.
I had my own stockings on. Told you I ain't care about my legs. Let them be ashy, man.
Mm-mm. Yeah,
That's
get you
what
Lady
some
he had
legs.
oil.
going on.
Get you some baby oil.
Right. Girl, something, anything at this
Right.
point.
Some Vaseline,
Hey, come on,
something.
chill, chill. Not too much on the legs, man. Not too much.
Oh.
She going too weird. She said something on them things. Maybe some of my hair, maybe some of my hair
Some of this
oil on
oil.
there.
Hey, for real, my ex boyfriend, he uses it on his legs and his arms. And he wears a bald head, but when he put it on his bald head, his hair was growing, so he had to stop. But he do use it on his legs and his feet because it's all
Come on up
natural.
in the
So
box, CG. Don't be a stranger, man. We'll
CJ said
get
he just
you.
woke up. He's trying to get up. He probably gonna go
Oh,
back to sleep.
bring the
Good
Barry White
night.
in here, man. All right, Reese, you got your legs out. You know what I'm saying? That's cool.
Hmm.
Ready to
Now
ready.
y'all see what time it is. Kev got me up late,
Yep.
but I got a hair appointment in the morning, so I'm probably not gonna go live until like 3. It's gonna be late when I go live tomorrow
Okay,
in the
okay.
boutique. Yeah,
Byron
I'm being
T.
bad. I was supposed to been did this, child. I was being lazy because I ain't want to take this hair down.
It's 12:46. I was supposed to braid my hair today, girl. Went and bought braiding hair and everything. Then my daughter said,
Listen,
comb it out.
I've been at home all day. I could have been took these
What's that,
braids
girl?
down early this morning. I started
Mhm.
taking my hair down at 10 o'clock, child, and just got child. And 10 o'clock took my braids down. I took some of them down earlier, but I had to take the rest of them down. And then tried to wash it and all that good stuff.
It's a job. I'm one of the most laziest naturals there
Mm-hmm.
are.
It is a
And I'm
job.
starting to care less and less. As long
Mm-hmm.
as it's healthy,
Yeah, it's
I'll be
definitely
good.
work. Yeah, it's definitely work. That's why I keep my little protective styles. I'll keep me some braids or something. Cause it's definitely
Hmm.
work. It's work. Yeah, Kev, go and get you some braids. Go and get you some
Nah,
dreads, Kev.
that
Some
never
dreads.
worked for me. Nah, I'm good on that too. I ain't trying to be a mop. I'm not trying to be the mop head. I'm done.
Yeah, no, don't call it
You don't want
that.
that? Okay.
Don't call it that.
I
Mm-mm. You
mean,
better be happy. I'm happy ain't nobody in here with no dreads, Kev. That'll be
nah,
awkward.
no. Hey, they know it's a
Oh,
mop. They know it look like a mop.
oh,
Who it is?
Lord,
So
Kev.
it's a compliment now.
I can't.
We expect you to know better.
Oh,
Expect
right.
As a member of the black
They don't
community.
better
like you to call
appreciate.
them that no more. They said you gotta start calling them locks. They don't like dread. They said they don't like
They
that no
don't
more.
like dread. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know. I remember saying that yesterday. It's
yeah,
locks.
locks. Mm-hmm.
Well, somebody said if you say dread, you got to say the whole thing. You got to say dreadlocks. Now,
Okay.
Dread
that's what
locks.
somebody told
Yeah.
me.
I just thought about it. Right, that is the whole full name. Right. I thought about we separated it.
Yeah,
It's
somebody
locks.
said you gotta say dreadlocks. You can't just stop at dread. And I can respect that.
Right.
They can't expect that though.
Oh man.
Teach me how to Dougie. You know, they probably do respect it for me because I wear my natural hair. So they probably would be like, sis, you know better.
I think they need to do a trend for all the women that wear their